could be Julio, myself, and you guys. So feel free to chime in 913-586-7965. That is the number for our text line. And looking at what we had a chance to either see or listen to this afternoon regarding the Royals' loss to the A's, let's start with the positives, okay? Let's come out of the gate with some good positive news, right? How about the play of both Maikel Garcia and Starling Marte in this lineup today? Each of those guys with a 3-hit performance. Maikel looked great at the top of the order today. 3 for 5. He scored 2 of the Royals' 3 runs, including a solo homer in this game, his 3rd of the year. On top of that, you had Starling Marte, 3 for 4. He notched an RBI of his own. He's now in limited at-bats, right? I just want to preface by saying that. He's hitting over 300. 303 now on the year. He's got like 25 ABs, but, something to be said for the fact that he's hitting over 300 thus far. And then Elias Diaz at the bottom of the order. He only had 1 hit in his 4 at-bats, but it was a solo home run. He is hitting 364, albeit in only 12 ABs. So nothing to necessarily write home about. It is a small, minuscule sample size so far. Outside of those 3 guys, Isaac Collins managed to knock. Cags came in and pinch hit for Lane Thomas later in the game. He managed to hit in this one as well. And then I think Salvi might have also had a knock in this one. That was more or less the performance of the entire. 60% of the Royals' hits today came off the bat of Maikel Garcia and Starling Marte. Not to mention the only other run scored came off the bat of Elias Diaz on that solo home run in the 8th inning. Royals, again today, runners in scoring position, doomed them as a lineup. 1 for 8. Starling Marte, the only guy on the team with a knock when there was a runner on second and or third. Maikel Garcia stole his 3rd base this year, but the pitching, as good as it has been, the starting pitching especially, as good as it has been prior to this week, starting pitching is a problem. That is now the 4th, and Vern said it right there towards the end of his show after the game, 4 consecutive starts now for the Kansas City Royals without a quality start. Mind you, the Royals have the 2nd most quality starts of any team in baseball. They had 15 quality starts coming into this week. They do not have one over their last 4 games. Noah Cameron, 5 runs given up, 4 of them earned in 5 1/3 of an inning. Now, I don't say that all of that is the responsibility of Noah Cameron. This defense should have gotten him off the field in those first couple of innings much sooner than they did. Okay, he ended up having to pitch into those first 2 frames much longer than he should have. And it led to a couple of extra hits. It led to another run being scored, albeit unearned. He had to work despite his defense instead of with his defense backing him up at times in this ballgame. Certainly not a recipe for success. He still gave up 4 earned runs. He walked 2. He allowed 9 hits. He struck out 5. He was shaky today. And I said this a couple of weeks ago and was hoping that I would be able to sort of wear pie on my face as the year progressed. But through the first 31 games of the year, I do not feel great about Noah Cameron. I had this thought coming into the year when it came to the rookie, the lefty from St. Joe, right? As good a year as he had last season. Top 5 in the American League in Rookie of the Year voting. He was outstanding with that 3 ERA that he had. But I had this feeling that maybe it was just, not beginner's luck. That's not what I'm saying. But the fact that he was a rookie. The fact that nobody had analytics on him. Nobody had gone into the batter's box against him at the big league level prior to last season. He had a phenomenal year last year. But now everybody's got those numbers in front of them. Some of these teams have real live ABs in big-time MLB games against Noah Cameron. So was he going to be able to replicate it from year 1 to year 2? so far, it hasn't looked great, right? His first 2 starts were very typical Noah Cameron from what we saw a year ago. 5 full innings against the Twins, he gave up 1 earned. 5 2/3 against the Guardians in his second start, 1 earned. But in his last 4 starts, he has given up at least 3 earned runs in all 4 of his most recent starts. And that includes today, 4 runs allowed, 5 runs allowed. 4 of them earned in today's game. He gave up 3 runs against the Angels back on the 24th of April. He gave up 5 earned runs, 7 runs total against the Yankees, and he gave up 5 earned runs against the White Sox back on April 12th. Do teams have a read on Noah Cameron now? He doesn't surprise people anymore with the way that he played last year. They've experienced it. Maybe it's just a sort of a rough patch that he's in the middle of coming into year 2, right? Maybe it's that he's just not quite at his best yet, and we'll get there as the season goes on. But I can't help but be a little bit concerned over the play of Noah Cameron through his first 6 starts this year, especially considering what these numbers look like over his last 4, in which he's given up 3 earned runs or more in each. Outside of that, there's not a whole lot to speak of when it comes to today's game against the A's. I mean, the Athletics managed 1 more hit than the Royals did. They had less extra base hits than the Royals did. They did not manage a home run in this game. The difference, Royals 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. The Athletics 5 for 13. Okay, when you're hitting 400 with runners on second and third, and the team on the opposite end is hitting sub 200, you're in a really good spot. That's what happened today. That's why the A's win 6-3. That's why they take the series, and why the Royals are now 7 games below 500 as we head into a series against Seattle tomorrow on May 1st.
You know, the beginning of this season sounds very, how do I put this, familiar to last season, right? I feel like it's a broken record.
Pretty much a carbon
almost
copy.
Identical, right? We have offensive struggles. We have starting pitching that's carrying, although not maybe as strong as last year. Bullpen's a mess. I feel like I'm just beating my head against a brick wall at this point. I'm not that optimistic, especially after the Pasquantino injury. Like, there's just not too much as a Royals fan. I don't mean to be negative, but there's not too much to be optimistic about at this point right now.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow. I mean, there's no other way to talk about it right now.
I mean, just last season, same thing too, right? Where you have your primary hitters are struggling, and you have a few here and there that you weren't expecting to hit well are hitting well, but that's not what you need, right? You need your hitters to hit, and we're just doing the same thing again.
No question about it. I mean, we talked ad nauseum about it last year about how bad this team was with runners in scoring position.
Yep.
Any guesses as to where they sit league-wide in terms of batting average with runners in scoring position?
Very bottom.
That would be 30th. Yeah, dead last in baseball, hitting Correct. A whopping 224 as a baseball team with runners in scoring position. In terms of on-base percentage, they are 4th to last in Major League Baseball. In terms of slugging percentage, the Royals dead last in Major League Baseball. They are, of course, now dead last in OPS. They are 29th in total bases with runners in scoring position. They have notched 8 double plays grounded into so far this season, 7, which is middle of the pack. This team seems to do a fairly good job. No, they do a fairly good job of getting guys onto second and third base. And then once they get there, the rest of the lineup freezes. Just straight deer in headlights.
They poop their pants, that's correct.
And when the starting pitching isn't pitching at a Cy Young level, this team's going to lose. Because we can't rely on this Royals lineup to notch 6 runs, 8 runs on a night-by-night basis and then expect the bullpen to hold out. because this bullpen so far this year is among the worst in Major League Baseball. Something I didn't think I'd say coming into the year when I looked at the combination of Carlos Estevez, who led Major League Baseball in saves last year and was an all-star, along with Lucas Erceg and that near 100-mile-an-hour fastball, Matt Strahm coming over from Philadelphia. I thought we had high-leverage arms in big innings. Strahm has been shaky. Erceg has been shaky. Estevez, we don't know if or when he's going to come back into this lineup, and when he does, what's he going to look like? We have absolutely no idea. I said 88 wins coming into the year. I have, on a scale of 1 to 10, about
what's your confidence level?
A 2 level of confidence in that
Okay.
88 wins. I mean, they're going to have a ridiculous May and June to even set themselves up to reach that 88 wins.
Well, let's be a little optimistic here. It's not like the rest of Major League Baseball is the other teams are on fire right now.
Fair
I
point.
mean, the league across the board right now is for the most part struggling. So there's a silver lining for you.
Yeah, I mean, unless you are a handful of teams, right?
Right.
You know, the Dodgers, as good as their lineup is, they're 20-11. But it's really, I think we should all collectively just ignore the Dodgers record,
the
because
outlier.
they play just good enough baseball to get themselves to October.
They play for the postseason. That's
And
correct.
then they run the Avengers out in their lineup and dismantle everybody because they've got more money than God, seemingly. The Reds, they're solid. Right now, the Braves have the best record in baseball. That does surprise me a little bit.
How does Atlanta continue to catch lightning in a bottle? Like, they're just such a well-run organization. Why can't we be the Braves? We try to be the Braves, but we're just like the off-brand of the Braves.
Yeah,
at this point.
In the way that they're doing it, right? Like how successful the Braves are right now, despite the fact that like Ronald Acuna is hitting 240 with 2 home runs, and Austin Riley is hitting below the Mendoza line, and you're still 12 games above 500. I mean, you're doing this, and Spencer Strider is still on the IL. Like, he has not pitched a game yet for this Atlanta Braves team, and they're still just absolutely just, I mean, I'm sorry. Was somebody going to inform me that Bryce Elder is just a Cy Young caliber pitcher after he threw like a 5.3 ERA last year? And now he's 3-1 through 7 starts with a 1.88 ERA and a WHIP barely above 1. Okay, fine. I don't get it, but here we are. 913-586-7965. We'll talk more Royals. I see a lot of messages in the text line that we'll get to here in just a little bit. Stick around. Logan Weber alongside Julio Sanchez. You're listening to After Hours on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
In a field of thousands, one has emerged. Back from the brink, now poised to take its rightful place amongst the greatest lawns of all time. It's the birth of a true turf champion, and a story that will live on at summer barbecues and in neighborhood group chats for all time. Your lawn is back, baby, and it's Weedman for the win. Go to weedman.com, enter promo code GREEN, and get 1 free service.
It's Chris Mack with a Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. It's a you-know-who day on the mound for Pittsburgh as they look to avoid a 4-game sweep at the hands of St. Louis. And the reigning Cy Award winner has been rolling since his opening day blow-up. He took a perfect game into the 7th in Milwaukee in his last start, and other than a rain delay shortened outing 2 weeks ago, has gone at least 6 innings in each of his last 4 starts. Today's Pittsburgh starter over 17.5 outs is a look I like, as well as over 6.5 strikeouts, as he's over a strikeout per inning as well, and hit at least 6 Ks in each of his last 4 starts that have gone at least 6 innings. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Missouri only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PROMO25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PROMO25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PROMO25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
There's nothing like the sound of Royals baseball. When the boys in blue take the field, loyal fans tune in, turn it up, and stay connected. And where do Kansas City's most passionate sports fans gather? Right here on 96.5 The Fan. Sports fans are loyal fans. They support the teams they love and the businesses that support their team. If you're ready to grow your business and connect with a dedicated, engaged audience, call 816-522-0444 or email greg.bergen@odyssey.com. That's greg.bergen at odyssey.com.
And Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game.
Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug!
Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down.
Hey!
Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Everything you knew about reaching customers online is being rewritten. Time to rethink your approach. Outcomes from Viant finds real customers, not impressions, not clicks, customers. Our AI maximizes every dollar of your budget against the outcomes that matter most and proves it happened. It's smarter advertising made simple. Visit Viant.ai.
Logan Weber, Julio Sanchez, after hours here on your home for Kansas City Sports, 96.5 The Fan, and we're talking Royals after a 6-3 loss to the Athletics today. And I got this message a couple of times in the text line, and maybe you have a different thought on this than I do, Julio, but we have some people asking the question, why isn't Jack Caglione playing first base? And I think that's a valid question, considering the lower back issue that Vinny's dealing with right now. It's not expected to keep him out for an extended period of time. In fact, the Royals aren't going to put him on the IL with this. I think they rested him today just sort of as a precaution, but sounds like he was available off the bench had the Royals needed it today, and he may very well be back in the lineup at first base tomorrow. If he does miss extended time, though, why wouldn't the Royals consider playing Jack Caglione at first base? And I think the answer is very simple. They want Jack Caglione to become their everyday right fielder, right? That's why you gave Vinny Pasquantino the extension that you gave him, because he had a great year. You want him around for the long haul. That means that Vinny is going to primarily have to play first base. So putting Jack Caglione in at first base and taking him out of right field may be seen as doing him a little bit of a disservice. You want him to be at right field as often as you possibly can. Today, though, is kind of a weird situation because he wasn't in the lineup at all today. Like, it's one thing if you're looking at a situation where you want Jack to be in right, you can't put him at first base because you want him in right field, and then to just have him on the bench when Vinny's out and Salvi is starting to find it a little bit, and maybe that's part of it. After the whole social media thing with the, I don't need a mental break and all that sort of stuff. Since that point, Salvi has hit the ball much better. I understand the need to try to want to keep his momentum going. But Salvi's not the athlete that he once was. He's 34 years old. And the defense was a serious problem today. Salvi didn't aid much in that endeavor. Okay? Cags is 6'5". He is a mountain of a human being. So I could see where Matt Quattro's thinking was, had Cags been in right field today. It's like, hey, we want him to be our everyday right fielder. We don't want to take him out of right field and put him in first base on a random day. But the fact that he wasn't in the lineup at all, I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
One of your better hitters. I'm not saying he's on fire, but he's one of your better hitters to this point, and it's his natural position. I like you said, I understand what they're trying to do with maybe some consistency and keeping him in the outfield, but this was an extenuating circumstance that you maybe could have taken advantage of. And if Salvi, he's struggling at the plate, and he's struggling to play defense at first. It just made more sense, at least for today, to put Jack over there just to patchwork things together and still stay a little bit more competitive, because they need all the competitiveness at this point that they can get.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where I understand the thinking of Matt Quatraro, right? He's a guy that really does dig deep into the numbers of things. He does have his pulse on the analytics, and he does follow some of those old school rules behind the game of baseball, like lefty versus lefty, righty versus righty, and that sort of thing. I know the A's were trotting out a left-handed starter today. And yes, the numbers show you that Cags is better against righties. He's hitting 250 against righties this year. He's hitting just south of 220 against lefties. He just hit a moonshot over the weekend against the Athletics, against a lefty, in the 9th inning to tie up a ball game and send it to extras in a lefty-lefty situation. Sometimes you kind of got to say analytics be damned and go with the hot bat. Go with what's working. Is Salvador Perez fighting to get back above the Mendoza line a better option for you than Jack Caglione, who's hitting north of 240? Getting better wood on the bat right now, finally hitting balls out of the ballpark, and just taking a young bat that's figuring it out completely out of the lineup for a day.
Yeah, I feel like it's a long-term vision of keeping it consistent for him. But at this point, with where they're at, they should really be more concerned with the short term. Long term, okay, good, but let's just win some games right now. Like, let's stop the bleeding. That's what we need to be focused on.
Yeah, I mean that's the big issue currently. You're 7 games below 500. It is a serious problem that these Royals are in right now, and we've talked about this for the last couple of weeks, right? That typical cliche of, well, you can't win the division in April, but you can certainly lose the division in April. And it's a cliche because to some extent it's true.
Right now.
It's true, right? But it's not as if you're in a situation like Boston is 8 games back in the AL East right now after a 12-19 start, right? The Angels and the Astros are both 5.5 games back in the West. The Mets are 11.5 games back of the Brewers a month into the season. Every other division in baseball, the team in dead last is at least 4.5 games out, except for the Kansas City Royals in the AL Central. 3.5 games back of the Detroit Tigers. The AL Central is awful.
God bless
right now.
The AL Central.
It is the worst division in baseball. Everybody knew that coming into the year, and it has really just taken the reins of that off the bat. I mean, like, the team in dead last in the NL Central right now is the Pittsburgh Pirates. They have the same record as the Tigers and the Guardians, who are in first in the AL Central.
That's an amazing stat.
The Pirates are 16-16, dead last in their division.
Sad.
The Tigers and Guardians also 16-16, leaders in the AL Central. This division's awful. It is a dumpster fire. So, yes, the Royals had a bad month, but so did the rest of the other teams in the AL Central.
It's the only saving grace right now.
So they technically haven't lost the division because the whole division sucks. Hey, there you go. The AL as a whole is pretty awful. Yeah, it's not outstanding. I mean, the A's lead the AL West at 17-14. I mean, currently the team with the second best record in the American League is the Tampa Bay Rays, and they are second in their division behind the New York Yankees. 3 teams in the AL East have a losing record. 3 teams in the Central have a losing record. 3 teams in the West have a losing record. 9 of the 15 teams in the American League below 500. Meanwhile, the entire AL Central or NL Central is at 500 or better. Okay. Weird month all around. Just a weird month in baseball. And one team that is 10 games above 500 or better through the first month of the year, and that's the Atlanta Braves, who are 22-10. So yes, things are bleak right now. Things are glim, but it's not over yet, okay? We can be a little bit concerned. I don't think we're at the point yet where we can hit the panic button. Things just don't feel great. And on top of the fact that the Royals are 12-19, the injuries are starting to pile up a little bit, and some of it is just really, really not good news. So let's kind of just take a step back and look at the big picture right now. Let's take a look at the first 31 games of the year, what we saw, what we could see moving forward, and give you our best synopsis of what we could expect for the Royals moving forward, at least in the short term.
Can I just say, Logan, I am proud of you today, because you are being the eternal optimist, and usually we're the one calling you the negative Nancy, and I'm the one that has to bust out the silver linings of everything.
That's
so
fair.
I just want to say I appreciate your positivity today, because I'm not feeling it. So you're pulling me up today. I appreciate it.
I may be able to explain a little bit of why in the 7 o'clock hour.
Okay,
I'm trying to remain eternally optimistic regarding sports, because things are happening to my house and my car that is going to get me institutionalized in the near future if it doesn't figure itself out. So
All right.
I'll kind of explain why I'm so giddy and optimistic today, because if not, I will go insane. 913-586-7965 is our number. Logan Weber here with you alongside Julio Sanchez. This is your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
As the seasons change, it's time to prep your HVAC system with a $49 seasonal tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. A tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and help prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
Whether you're looking for a Bronco, an Explorer, an F-150, or even a commercial vehicle, Robside Ford has the selection.
That's right, Kevin. We've got it all. And we've got the lowest prices in Kansas City. No gimmicks, just great deals on every new Ford.
And it's not just inventory, it's how you do business. Robside Ford makes it very simple.
We do it different on purpose. Non-commissioned sales team, upfront transparent pricing, top dollar trade-in values, and a process that's actually easy.
You've even got the reputation to back it up, Bobby. Kansas City's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google. 4.8 stars, 3,000 reviews. Wow.
And this year, we're proud to be voted Best Car Dealership in KC by Kansas City Magazine.
So if you're ready for a better car buying experience,
come see us at 135th and State Line or check us out at robsight.com.
From Broncos to F-150s to work trucks, Robside Ford has what you need.
If you want simple and easy, you're not going to find a better spot.
Robside Ford. Buy right. Drive happy.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Penalties and interest are piling up every single day. Wage garnishments and bank levies could hit any moment. If you've been avoiding it out of fear, you're not alone. But waiting only shrinks your options and ramps up the stress. The truth is, the IRS settles with taxpayers every day through legitimate programs, and many qualify to reduce what they owe, in some cases by up to 99%. That's why thousands turn to helpwithirsdebt.com. They've guided over 120,000 Americans, resolved more than $2.3 billion in tax debt, and back every case with their ironclad resolution guarantee. If there's no real path forward, you get a full refund, no fine print. They even randomly select one qualifying client each year and pay off their entire IRS balance. Terms apply. Don't let another day pass. Go to helpwithirsdebt.com right now. It's fast, easy, and confidential. Find out what's possible today. helpwithirsdebt.com. Once again, that's helpwithirsdebt.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
We're now 31 games into a 162-game regular season for the Kansas City Royals. What do the numbers tell us? Well, the first number is 12-19. That's the record through the first 31 games of the year. What are some of the numbers that got us here? And we talked about it earlier. Maybe the second biggest number that stands out right now is 224. That is the Royals' average with runners in scoring position coming into today's game. Mind you, they were hitting 224 coming into today. After the Royals go 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position this afternoon, that 224 batting average is going to drop once again.
Hey, do you remember when we had that conversation about you being the eternal optimist?
Yes, I do.
It's not where this conversation's headed.
Well, you know, it's hard. It's hard at times to feel optimistic. You want optimistic? Okay, I'll give you optimistic here briefly. Want something to be optimistic about? How about 15? That is the number of quality starts for the Kansas City Royals through their first 31 games of the year. So nearly one of every 2 starts so far this season has been a quality start by the guy that begins the game on the mound, whether that be Seth Lugo or Michael Wacha, who through the first month plus have done a really good job. Wacha's been a little bit shakier as of late, but he was off to a roaring start to begin the season. Reagan's up and down, but he's notched a couple of quality starts along the way as well. So that's something to look at for the Kansas City Royals.
That's what you're going with, huh?
15 quality starts.
I feel like if I didn't have already seen and took a peek under the curtain of that stat, it would mean more. But
That's fair.
I'll take it, I guess.
239. That is the team's batting average so far this year, right? Regardless, in all ABs, they are hitting 239 as a team. It doesn't sound great, but when you look across Major League Baseball, it's actually 16th. I mean, it is like squarely middle of the pack.
We'll take middle of the pack
in
at this
Major
point,
League Baseball.
you know?
It's not what the Braves and the Dodgers are doing right now, hitting 273, which is ridiculous. It's hard to be optimistic when we're looking at the numbers behind this Royals team because there's not a ton to be optimistic about, Julio. I'm just being honest with you.
Oh, boy.
29 home runs for the Kansas City Royals, tied for 21st in Major League Baseball. Looking at their slugging percentage, they are 14th. Not a terrible number. How about the fact that they have 380 total bases? This is, again, not including today's game, but that is 6th worst in Major League Baseball. This team is not hitting the ball for extra base hits. This team is not hitting the ball out of the ballpark, and they are not hitting with runners in scoring position. They have one of the worst ERAs among bullpens in all of Major League Baseball, something that we thought was going to be a net positive for this team coming into the year. And then we look individually at this Royals baseball team. And listen, if any of you got onto DraftKings or FanDuel or whatever and put out a futures for who would lead the Royals in batting average through the first 31 games, if you bet Kyle Isbell, congratulations, you're a millionaire. Hitting 292 so far this year. Leads the team in batting average. Although not technically because he's only got 72 ABs. So he doesn't qualify as the team's leader in batting average. That would belong to Bobby Witt Jr., who is hitting 289. So among qualified players, the Royals do not have a single guy in their lineup hitting 300. Bobby's hitting 289. At least that was coming into the game today. Michael is hitting 275. Carter Jensen's hitting 256. Kaggs is hitting 250. Elias Diaz in 11 ABs is hitting 364. And Starling Marte in 33 is hitting 303. Isaac Collins is hitting 215. Michael Massey's hitting 220. Lane Thomas, he's been picking it up as of late, now hitting just over 233. But you look at like Salvi's hitting 200. He's hitting right at the Mendoza line in 120 at-bats. Vinny Pasquantino is hitting 165.
Ouch.
But looking on the positive side of things, that is a little bit of who Vinny has become known as, right? What
slow starts.
Vinny is notorious for this throughout his career, is beginning the season slow. Go back to his splits from last year. Any guesses as to what he hit in April of last year? 172. He turned around in May and hit 330. In April of 2024, he hit 220. He turned around in May and hit 260. He just seems to be one of those guys that it just takes him a minute. I'm not willing to write off this Royals baseball team yet. There are things that I don't feel great about. How about some of the injuries that are starting to mount for this Royals baseball team? Michael missed some time last week. Vinny, after the back tightness yesterday, getting removed from the game, he ended up pinch hitting in the 9th, I think, today, but he missed it a little bit of time. Jonathan India just had season-ending surgery. Ryan Bergert had season-ending surgery. Ben Kudrna had season-ending surgery himself. I don't know if it's season-ending surgery, but he did have elbow surgery earlier this week. One of the Royals' top pitching prospects, somebody that folks thought might be able to, depending on how the rest of the bullpen or the rest of the rotation holds up, might have a shot to make his MLB debut this year. That has been set back because of injury. Of course, Carlos Estevez and everything that's happened with him since the first game of the year. I think we all knew coming into the year that health was going to be a huge factor for this Royals baseball team. Because, yes, they have a lot of young talent on it. Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen and Bobby Witt Jr., Maikel Garcia, right? A lot of that young talent resides in the lineup and not in terms of the pitching. The pitching is where the majority of your injuries have come from in the past, and so far this year seems to be where a majority of them are currently coming from. When you've got a bunch of starting and relief pitchers all over the age of 30, when you've got Lugo and Waka on the bump every fifth day at their age 33, 34, 35 seasons. You've got Carlos Estevez in his mid-30s. Lucas Erceg is approaching 30. But we did get some news, I believe it might have been earlier today, with Cody and Gold. Cody Tap telling us via JJ Piccolo that Carlos Estevez on Tuesday had a bullpen session. He threw live pitching against some hitters in Arizona, said the velocity was much closer to where it needed to be. So it sounds like things are trending in the right direction for Carlos Estevez and his potential return to this Royals baseball team. Still no official timetable of anything, but he would be throwing to more live hitters again this week. Don't know if that was today, could be tomorrow. And then after that, if all things go well, he'll begin a rehab assignment. So with all those things kind of put together, if you're looking at the picture with all those individual puzzle pieces placed in, I would venture to guess it's probably a week and a half, 2 weeks before we see Carlos Estevez. So second week of May is where I would venture to guess we have a real possibility of Carlos Estevez being back with the Kansas City Royals. That's some good news, especially considering Royals general manager JJ Piccolo telling us that the velocity, the velo is picking up. It's much closer to where it needs to be in order for him to be a huge cog for this Royals bullpen moving forward. 913-586-7965 is our number. We talked through what has happened, okay? The loss today to the A's, losing the series, the 12-19 record through 31 games. Let's look towards the future. Let's look towards the month of May and this series beginning with the Seattle Mariners starting tomorrow in Seattle. So it's going to be a couple of late nights in terms of Royals baseball as they continue their West Coast trip. Let's discuss that coming up next. Logan Weber, Julio Sanchez, After Hours here on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm for 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems. Call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. We have our sump pump special going. $200 off a main pump, $400 off a battery backup system. Call Connolly at 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PROMO25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PROMO25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PROMO25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Telly Tire and Auto Center's biggest sale is back. the tires at cost sale. That's right, you pay what we pay on any in-stock tires from Telly's huge inventory. Our certified techs will even mount and balance them for only $30 per tire. All that plus a 30-day ride guarantee and lifetime tire protection. Gas and grocery prices may be going up, but there's never been a better time to buy tires. Reserve yours now at TELLEtire.com before our sale ends. Take care of your car. Take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
I hope you're sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and is 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you're a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone. 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information.
Well, if any of you are planning on spending your Friday at 8:45 p.m. in front of a television screen, you can get on Apple and watch the Royals take on the Seattle Mariners from T-Mobile Park in Seattle. It's going to be a battle of aces between these two teams. It'll be Cole Reagan's on the bump for Kansas City against Brian Wu of the Seattle Mariners. And I'll be honest, when you read that off the surface, you're like, I don't really want to watch the Royals battle Brian Wu. He's one of the better pitchers in Major League Baseball, but you know, he's not off to a spectacular start. He's 1-2 with a 3.86 ERA so far this season. But that means that you're going to get the three best arms that Seattle has in their rotation. On Saturday, it's going to be Emerson Hancock, who is taking a 2.86 ERA into the month of May. And on Sunday, it's Luis Castillo, who has gotten battered so far this year. 6.35 ERA across 6 starts to begin this season, including his most recent start against the Minnesota Twins, where he gave up 7 earned across 5 innings. He has given up at least 1 earned run in each of his last 5 starts. He's given up 7 runs twice in that same time frame. So the Mariners have been a little bit underwhelming as this season has begun. 16-16 as a team, but they're at home in this game, and that's always an advantage in the world of sports, especially when you look at the Kansas City Royals, who as a team are the worst team in baseball on the road. 9-7 at home, 3-12 on the road. I'll repeat that, 3-12. For the sake of comparison, the Astros are 4-12 on the road this year, so just a half game better away from home. But that is not a recipe for success if you're the Kansas City Royals. This lineup has to get things going. And that it has been. Right? This team is hitting close to 300 over the last 10 days. But it's got to happen with runners in scoring position. And it's got to happen against the 3 best starting pitching arms that the Seattle Mariners have, with Wu going tomorrow, Hancock on Saturday, and Luis Castillo on Sunday. See if they can get it done. 913-586-7965 is our number. Julio, I have to vent for a minute, okay? I feel like I've done my best to try to be positive regarding the Kansas City Royals. I feel like I'm going to be mostly positive in regards to the Kansas City Chiefs when we talk about the draft and what the Royals did coming up, because I really do like what the Chiefs did over the course of the Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Pittsburgh. But being an adult sucks. And
adulting is overrated. That's correct.
I have some things that I need to discuss. I need perspectives from other adults to let me know that what is happening to me is normal. It's just a part of the process. Because, God, I love owning a home and I love owning a car, but I also hate owning a home and I hate owning a car. 913-586-7965. Logan Weber, Julio Sanchez, After Hours here on your home for Kansas City Sports, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm for 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems. Call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City Sports. 96.5, The Fan.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds, and you can apply in minutes. You get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Furnished by IntelliBrands. Whether because of discomfort, lack of mobility, your lifestyle, or occupation, you sit inactively way too many hours a day. Get an Ellipse, the premium quality automatic seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation without physical strain or impact. Improve your flexibility and balance, strengthen and tone your legs.
My joints feel better, my knees feel better, my back feels better, and it makes me feel stronger too.
My circulation is moving. I'm burning calories and it makes me feel energetic.
It's so quiet that none of my coworkers even know I'm using it.
Call now and order Ellipse, the seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation. And for a limited time, get a free upgrade to our deluxe bundle with a faster motor, sport mat, and wireless remote. Call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212. 800-555-1212 now. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Julio, if you'd really like to know why I'm being so uncharacteristically positive today, it's because yesterday afternoon, I nearly broke my hand. How I nearly broke my hand, you asked?
Doing?
Punching my steering wheel.
Okay. Can't hit back, but...
It can't. Why did I punch my steering wheel? Because being an adult sucks, dude. It sucks. All right? For context, my wife and I, we've lived in our house we've just crossed the year mark. We've lived in the house for just over a year.
And this is your first time owning a house, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So we've officially surpassed that 1 year threshold. So we are past the stage of just moving into the house and getting comfortable in the house.
You're
and
out of the honeymoon phase.
Making it our home, so to speak. So now we are in the, okay, let's do some renovations. Let's try to make some improvements to our home stage. Can somebody explain the theory to me? Is there a scientific reason behind why every time you fix something in your house, something else breaks? Can somebody break that down for me? Because it's a thing. So we have a non-conforming bedroom in our basement that had old carpet in it that I think was the previous owner's dog's room. So it smelled like dog, okay? And it smelled like dog pee in the room. And it was in the carpet. You know, we put an air purifier in the room and we sprayed it and we carpet cleaned it. It still smelled like dog pee. So we ripped up all the carpet in that room. We went and bought some linoleum, laminate flooring, and we put it down in that room, made it look a little bit nicer. And so that was sort of the beginnings of the process. We had, when we first moved into the house, plywood on the ceiling because a pipe had burst. So we took that down and we fixed the pipe, and it took us a year, but now we've put sheetrock up, which involves mudding, taping, and sanding, which is just
so fun.
Awful,
right?
dude.
It's so fun.
Especially on the ceiling.
Oh my gosh.
On the wall is one thing, right? Where I'm eye level with it.
How's your neck right now?
My neck's not even the worst part.
No?
It's my shoulders. The top, my shoulder blades are feel like I'm going to tear a rotator cuff trying to sand this mud off. It's just awful. We've only done one layer. We got a second layer coming up. Not the most fun thing in the world, but we're trying to make some improvements to the house, right? We bought an over-the-range microwave because before we just had the vent with just the fan that runs above your stove. So we got the full-on over-the-range microwave, put the brackets in, put the microwave in, great. Then we went and bought some exterior lights for our house, the motion sensor ones, because ours on our front, above our garage door and behind our back door in the basement didn't have the motion sensors. We wanted those. So we put it on, right? Went up there, did the wiring, installed brand new motion-censored exterior lights for our house. As soon as we finish with all of those things, right? Garage door is open. I go to hit the button because we got an automatic garage door. Not working. So fix one thing. Now my garage door doesn't work. Okay, great. That's so much fun. So what do? I get the equipment out. I redo the wiring. Do all the things. Check all the wiring, check the sensors. I do all the stuff. I adjust them, and I get the garage door working again. Just in time, yesterday, I'm driving to my wife's office in Lee Summit to drop off some stuff for her at her work. Drop the stuff off for her. I get in my car. I'm driving home. All of a sudden, I hit the gas on my car. No gas. No acceleration whatsoever. I get an engine fault sign on my car. Service now. Okay, this is fun. Let me find somewhere to pull over in the middle of Lee Summit at 4:30 in the afternoon. It's rush hour. I got nowhere to go. So I find a random park to pull into. I get out of my car. And this is an important part of the story to remember. On Friday, I checked all the fluid in my car. I got in, I refilled my windshield wiper fluid, I refilled my coolant, right? I checked my brake, I checked the brakes on my car. I checked everything. I pop open the hood to my car, coolant is empty. Gone.
Ugh.
Not a thing in it. My car is literally smoking from like the lack of coolant inside my car. And I'm like, this is fun. I just filled that on Friday. So I call my wife. She picks me up. We go to a Dollar General. I buy coolant and like a gallon of water. I start with the gallon of water because I'm like, if there's something wrong, I'm not about to waste $15 worth of coolant and have it end up on the ground.
Yeah, that's smart.
So I pour the water into the coolant part of my car. I look down, and it is just pouring out of the bottom of my car. I look, there's a little section of the coolant line.
The radiator? Or?
There's a section of the coolant line, right? It's just a bunch of rubber hoses.
Not too bad.
There's this little connection from one hose. It breaks off into 3 separate hoses, and it's shot. Just busted.
Could have been worse.
Right there at that
worse,
point.
Man.
And I'm like, that's awesome. So, like, somebody explain it to me. Like, what is it about being an adult that you fix something and all of a sudden a brand new problem? Like, mind you, we've got 50 things written down on a sheet of paper that we need to work on. But I check one thing off that list, and something that was not a problem before, something that was functioning perfectly prior to me completing this project, is now in tatters. Somebody in the text line, I got a 913, says, owning a home is like playing the whack-a-mole game with ongoing problems. It's miserable. Yeah,
That's
I'm
correct.
learning that immediately. I'm
Let me just
getting
tell
a
you,
crash
this phase
course.
that you're in now doesn't end. I hate to tell you. I hate to tell you, be the bearer of bad news, but it doesn't end. Just so you know.
And what is this like? All this sudden beef I have with a person I've never met in the previous owner of the house.
Oh, let me tell you, as a person, a homeowner purchasing from an old farmhand, it is wonderful discovering all the handyman type repairs that have been done to your house. It's such a pleasure.
This won't pass inspection, but it'll do
wrapping
sort of
electrical and
fixes.
duct tape after they splice
man.
things together. Yeah, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, here's another fun one. So part of the reason why I think our garage door was being weird is because when we were redoing some of the wiring, taking that fan out and putting in the microwave, right? There was no outlet up there. So we had to wire an outlet in order to plug the microwave in. So we had to flip the breaker off to make sure that nobody got electrocuted, obviously. And we discovered that my microwave is now running on the same breaker as our garage.
That sounds like my house.
The garage door runs on the same breaker as the microwave now. Okay, fine.
Yep.
That works. I got upstairs lights that are on the same breaker as the downstairs light. Like it's
my
just
bathroom lights are tied to my office lights. My hall lights are tied to the master bedroom lights. It's just
it's
a thing, my friend.
I have an outlet in one bedroom that runs on the same breaker as the bedroom next to it, but it's just one outlet in its own. All the other outlets run on a different breaker. So it's fun. Somebody says now you get to find all the DIY half-assery. Yeah, we've already discovered. And of course, you always have to keep in mind eventually I'm going to make a lot of money on this investment. God, I hope so. No, it never ends. It just becomes less frustrating because you learn to roll with it.
I don't know if less frustrating is the way I would put it, but
Man, I'm trying. And the fact that it's now sort of led itself to my car. So now my car's having issues. It's like,
and it feels like the more you take care of things, the worse off things get. Like the more you appreciate and you take care of things, the crappier things, more crappy things happen.
Oh, it just like I feel like one step forward, 2 steps back. Just
buckle in, my friend. You're in for a long ride.
That's why I was so positive about the Royals, because my house makes me want to beat my head against a wall.
While I enjoy home ownership, there is something to say about renting and paying somebody to have to deal with those worries. So.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, as much of a complaint as I'm making about the house and the fact that, I'm a homeowner and that we've got to fix it, I still like it a little bit more than I like renting.
Some things are fun. Don't get me. I enjoy a lot of the DIY, but some of the things, like some of the electrical work or some of the plumbing, like some of that stuff is just not fun.
It's a feeling it's a feeling that I've never had before. When things would break. Like my wife and I, we lived in apartments in Springfield for almost 5 years, right? When something small would go wrong in the apartment, like we'd fix it. But you never got anything.
Yours.
Yeah, you never
You get
got
no
anything out of
satisfaction
it,
from it.
right? And if it was anything big, no, I'm not going to fix that because it's not technically mine. I'm renting that. I don't own that. So like the wax ring goes bad on a toilet, I'm not replacing that. Let me call the maintenance guy and he'll come replace it, right? With owning a home, when we do something, like I spent an entire weekend when we first got the house, a couple months in, we took out all the lighting most of the lighting in the upstairs of our house, and we put in canless lights. So I was up in the attic for almost 2 whole days putting in canless lights, right?
Been there, done that.
Discovered that we have no plywood in the attic of our house. So I was having to straddle the trusses in the attic of our house. My knees and my legs have never burned so bad in all my life. But when I got down out of that attic on Sunday, and we flipped those lights on and they all worked and we had brand new lighting upstairs in our house, it was a level of pride I have never experienced before in my life. That's the part I love.
Let me tell you, I redid all of the floors in our house, pulled everything up, laid all the flooring down, and I have about a 3,000 square foot home and redid every single part of that floor. I have never swept and mopped and taken care of a floor that well in my entire life. I probably sweep 3 times a week and mop twice a week because I have so much pride in that damn floor because blood, sweat, and tears went into that floor. So I'm damn right I'm going to take care of it.
Yeah, I'm starting to get that way with my yard.
Oh, yeah. Your yard too? Yep.
So, yeah, it's
the old man is coming out in you, my friend.
I still don't enjoy mowing my yard. Okay, I liked it for the first couple of months and then I hated it, but I'm now at a point.
Push mower?
I have a
need a riding lawnmower.
I have a self-propelled push mower that I use for the front yard of the house because it's pretty small, and then I have a riding mower for the backyard.
It's the best.
The riding mower in the front yard would just be a little bit of overkill, and so I like to have the push mower for the front yard. The thing that with my yard work now is that we are actually like completing some projects. So we put some edging in and we planted some flowers in our front yard to try to make it look a little bit nicer. I bought some seed and I'm trying to fill in some dead spots in our yard, and the grass is actually starting to grow a little bit. I'm starting to see little itty bitty,
out there watering your grass at 9 o'clock at night
that are poking out. And I haven't had to water it, thank God, because we've turned into Seattle, Washington all of a sudden over the last 3 weeks and gotten a ridiculous amount of rain. But yeah, there are certain things about it where like I love that it's mine. And when I fix something, or when my wife and I fix something, we fix that. And it's ours.
And
right?
It's done right.
And we feel, we did that, right? Whether we did it right or not is that's up to interpretation. You know what I mean? But we did it.
I don't know what people did before YouTube. Let me just say, because without YouTube, I would be wholly lost.
Facts. I mean, I will say, my wife and I are incredibly blessed with the situation that we have because her dad and her brother, my brother-in-law, are extremely handy individuals. They both work at the Ford plant in Claycomo and like do mechanic work. They own like a gutter and siding. We do like gutter and siding work on the side. We've built houses. Like they are extremely good at that stuff. And my dad that's what my dad has done his entire life. He grew up on a farm. He grew up working with tools. He knows how to do electrical work. So we have a support system behind us that helps us with some of those things, right? They helped us hang that sheetrock last week because there's no way that her and I could have stood there with that. I mean, with 8-foot ceilings trying to keep these sheetrock pieces still while we tried to screw them into place. So we are extremely lucky because we have people that have been there and done that and have helped us along the way and can help us along the way. So we're really lucky in that regard, but it's It is a love-hate relationship that I have never experienced before in my house, in my life with this house. You know, like being a homeowner is simultaneously some of the most prideful and some of the most agonizing moments of my life thus far. There's no other way to describe it. Somebody in the text line at 816 says it really starts to make you have a lot more respect for your dad. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
100%.
my dad and I installed the flooring in that room last week, and I sat there and was like sort of helping him as best I could. I sort of felt 12 years old there for a little bit because he's like, can you hand me that tool? Sure. All he needed to do was ask me to hold the flashlight, and I would have been a little kid again. But I was able to help a little bit more. And I'm like, how did you learn how to do this? And he's like, just figured it out.
Owning your own house.
Yeah,
that's how you
just
learn.
figured it out.
Yes.
And it's like, all right.
I've
sounds
learned so
good.
many things that I never would have thought were possible.
Yeah.
With homeownership.
I'm one of those people, like one of my biggest, like, and I hate it about one of the things I struggle with the most is I get really anxious about something that I don't know how to do, and like trying to do it, like putting in light switches, putting in outlets, like something as simple as that. I was terrified to do it when we first moved into the house because I didn't know what it was going to be like. I didn't know if it was going to be complicated. I overthought the hell out of it until my dad came over and showed me once. He installed one outlet, an outlet cover in front of me, and I was like,
that's it?
Oh, that was stupid easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my big thing is like, I just need to see it done once. If I see somebody do it one time, I can do it. I just get in my head so much about it. So
you're not the only one, man.
I had to vent for a minute. I had to get it out because
we're here for you.
God, I'm fixing things in my house as other things are simultaneously falling apart. And through the middle of all this, my car just decides to crap out on me in the middle of Lee Summit yesterday.
Did you repair your own vehicle?
I couldn't get to it. So the part of the line that was busted it's like a little connection that it connects one hose on one end and then three kind of split off of it and go to different parts of the engine. And it's like right next to the engine block. So it's really, really difficult to get to it from the bottom and even more difficult to get to it from the top without first having to take off other bits and pieces of the engine along the way. Like I said, my father-in-law is extremely good with engines. He's worked at the Ford plant for 25 years. He's worked on cars his entire life. So he's much better at that than I am. So he told me today, he's like, it's like a $140 part. It's in a really tricky spot to fix. And I'm like, thank God I didn't try to do it by myself, because I would have somehow, like the transmission of my car would have fallen out knowing me.
I will say also part of learning through home ownership is knowing what you can't do.
Yeah.
And knowing
your
what
limitations
you pay
a little
professionals
bit.
to take care of.
Fair point.
100%.
Fair point. Knowing what your limitations are a little bit. And I've discovered a few of those along the way. I've discovered that I am not fully capable of working on an attic fan yet. So that's something that is going to have to be somebody else's priority.
Some skill sets you just don't need to acquire.
Valid point. All right. I'm done talking about homes. I just had to get it off my chest. Somebody said Logan is becoming a man. Congratulations. I don't know if that's
well said.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
Well played.
I don't know if that's
just take it.
a subtle dig with a compliment included.
Backhanded compliment.
Yeah,
you know?
Backhanded is probably a good way to describe it. 913-586-7965 is our number. Let's build a screened-in porch, and I'll teach you to smoke a brisket. Then you'll be a real boy. So all of a sudden, I'm becoming a man, and then I'm Pinocchio, all in one fell swoop. I don't need a screened-in porch. I have a sunroom, so thankfully, I don't think I'll have to worry about a screened-in porch anytime soon. Closing on my first home on Monday. I appreciate the reality check on what my future looks like. Depends on your house,
Congrats.
man. I mean, it is.
Look what you can look forward to.
I felt like that was way more negative than positive, for sure, but there are some really, really important and fun parts about owning a home. I mean, really, that it's yours. That, like, I go to bed every night, my wife and we sleep in our house that we own, in our bed that we own, in our room that we own. That's a really prideful feeling to have. The anxiety of owning a home is also there at all times. It's just the nature of the beast,
Always.
I guess.
Always.
Something that I was not fully prepared for, despite being 27 years old when I bought my first house. Happens. 913-586-7965 is our number. Let's move on from talking about houses and let's talk about the Chiefs, okay? Let's talk about what we saw last week in Pittsburgh, the Chiefs selections, and how we think they fit on this roster coming up next year and in the future. Stick around. Logan Weber, Julio Sanchez, After Hours, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Have you been diagnosed with head or neck cancer? At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. Proton therapy means increased precision, reducing side effects like dry mouth, difficulty swallowing, and the loss of taste as compared to conventional radiation. If you've been diagnosed, don't wait. Get your second opinion today and see KC's largest, most experienced proton therapy team. Visit kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber, connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Did your HVAC struggle through this rough winter? When it comes to your home comfort, trust the local experts at Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with our trade-in allowance program. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews, plus our exceptional service guarantee, means you get safe, reliable service and peace of mind. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds, and you can apply in minutes. You get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information.
Hey guys, it's Rob Brennan from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan. We're excited to launch Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends at 98.1 KMBZ.
And I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks. This is about Kansas City, not about soccer. Telling the story of how our town ended up hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes drop every Wednesday starting on March 4th, plus video clips on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ social channels.
Subscribe to Beyond the Pitch KC on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
After hours here on 96.5 The Fan. Logan Weber alongside Julio Sanchez. 913-586-7965 is our number. We're going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and what they did last week in the NFL draft in Pittsburgh, but I didn't notice this. Julio did actually, pointed it out to me during the break. If anybody wants to watch the sporting equivalent of a murder in broad daylight, why don't you go ahead and turn on ESPN? The New York Knicks are, there's no other way to describe it. They are putting belt to ass to the Atlanta Hawks right now. I'm looking at a box score that has New York up 83-35. It's not halftime yet. Oh, it's 83-36. Atlanta made a free throw. Comeback starts now. Here we go. Big free throw to cut the lead to 47.
83 points in the first half.
And holding your opponent to 36 that's unruly. OG Anunoby has 26 points in the first half in 20 minutes of basketball. He's 10 of 12 from the floor. Karl Anthony Towns has 10 points. He hasn't made a field goal. He's 0 for 2, but he's 10 of 10 from the free throw line. Mikal Bridges is 7 of 9 shooting. The Knicks are shooting 65% as a team. They are 20 of 22 at the stripe. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Hawks are shooting 31%. 36 to 83.
Largest halftime lead in NBA playoff history, by the way.
I can imagine.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Somebody in the text line just said, "What's the live spread on the game?" That is a phenomenal question. Let me open the FanDuel app real quick. Take a peek. All right. The live spread on FanDuel has the Knicks at minus 44.5. Oh my God. Wow. What did it open at? That's what I want to know. Or what did it close? What was the line at the close of the game? Like, what was the spread when before this thing tipped off? Can anybody give me that? 83. They're up 47 at halftime. Oh my goodness gracious. The spread was Knicks minus 2.5. Well, that feels like the absolute layup of the century.
Correct.
I took the Knicks at minus 2.5. Well, what's the score right now? Oh, they're up 47 at halftime. Okay. Sure. Wow. So I think it's fair to say that the New York Knicks are going to win their first round playoff series in advance. A couple of other game sixes tonight. The 76ers and the Celtics, that game just tipped off. Game 6 in Philly. Sixers up by 1. And then at 8:30 tonight, you've got Nuggets, Timberwolves. We may talk a little bit more NBA later on in the show, but I do want to talk about the draft. I want to talk about Mansour Delane. I want to talk about Peter Woods and R. Mason Thomas and Emmett Johnson. Anybody who's listened to this program for the last, 5 months knows that I've been a pretty strong proponent of Emmett Johnson. So fair to say I am thrilled about the idea of him in a Chiefs uniform despite the college that he attended. 913-586-7965 is our number. Stick around for that Chiefs conversation next here on After Hours. Logan Weber, Julio Sanchez, your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by A.B. May. Trust A.B. May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Liberty Mutual customize this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do, like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking? And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and you know baseball's back. BetMGM, the official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. All season long, you can log into the BetMGM app and receive top-tier promos that put you in the batter's box and up the excitement for America's pastime. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boosts, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB same-game parlay boosts. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB odds boost tokens and MLB parlay boost tokens all season long. More boosts, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Existing customer offers subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
Lowe's has the brands pros trust to get the job done. You can now shop new Catalyst fencing solutions and save big when you do. 10% off when you buy in bulk. Plus, save $180 on a DeWalt 12-inch dual bevel sliding compound miter saw. Now just $449. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/6 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
In digital advertising, everyone talks about clicks, but clicks don't pay the bills. Sales do. Outcomes from Viant is a new way to advertise that prioritizes your bottom line. Our AI-driven technology looks past the noise to find the customers most likely to buy your product. It's smarter, faster, and designed for real-world results. It's smarter advertising made simple. Visit Viant.ai.
This box score is hilarious. I mean, up 47 at halftime. That is comedy gold in and of itself, but just like looking at these numbers, the Knicks are +9 in rebounding. They have 21 assists to 7 for Atlanta. 14 turnovers for the Hawks, 4 for the Knicks. The plus minuses of this game, gold. Mitchell Robinson has played 9 minutes of basketball in this one. 9 minutes. Want to know what his plus minus is? Plus 29. In 9 minutes on the floor? Vice versa, Gabe Vincent has played 7 minutes. He's got a plus minus of minus 25. Ouch.
This is in Atlanta, by the way.
Your team is 25 points worse when you're on the floor. You've played 7 minutes. Yeah. And the worst part of it is Atlanta's doing this in front of their home fans.
In a closeout game. They're going to lose the series in blowout fashion. Imagine how upset you'd be as a fan paying full price for those playoff tickets.
Imagine how upset you are as a fan of the Atlanta Hawks right now.
That's what I mean.
Like, you didn't get to have Magic City night because that was vetoed by Commissioner Adam Silver. And then a month later, you have to watch your team get run off its home floor with the worst halftime deficit in NBA history. Tough one to swallow. But hey, I feel like I'm dogging on the Atlanta Hawks right now. I really do like the young core that they've got. I think Jalen Johnson is a blossoming superstar. Nickeil Alexander-Walker has turned himself into a 20-a-game sort of scorer in this league. Onyeka Okongwu is finally beginning to develop an outside jump shot. I just think that this Hawks team, really their biggest hole right now is that they're missing an interior presence. They're missing a true big to have on their roster. I mean, when Okongwu is basically your 5 at 6'10", you're kind of missing some size inside. You need a rim protector. You need somebody that can really cause some havoc in the paint. Give guys make them second guess whether they want to go down there with the trees. And Okongwu, he's a valiant defender. He averages over a block a game for his career, but it's not as if you've got a big 7', 7'1", 7'2" guy standing in the middle of that paint there trying to, affect shots down low. But away from the NBA for a moment, let's talk about the draft. Kansas City Chiefs with a bevy of picks going into the weekend, including the 9th overall pick, I think surprised a lot of us. Now, I was the kind of person, and I can remember having a conversation with Drew Nixon. He's the producer for Cody and Gold. And he was a little bit surprised when I said, I think the Chiefs could trade up from 9. I don't think it is out of the realm of possibility. I did say that I thought it was more likely that they traded back, but I wasn't willing to completely write off them moving up in this draft. Most people were. I think most people would have.
There were some rumblings that weekend before of the Chiefs potentially moving up. I don't know. I think majority of people thought it was maybe a smokescreen, but there were some rumblings out there.
Yeah, and most of what I had heard was if the Chiefs were going to trade up, it felt like the best candidate might have been the Cardinals at number 3 to try to go after one of those 2 premier edge rushers in either Arvell Reese or David Bailey. Now, had it been David Bailey sitting there at number 3, yes, please, go grab him. But he wasn't, right? Jets picked him at number 2. I thought that was the right move from New York. I think he's the best edge rusher in this draft. I think he's got the highest floor of anybody in the class. So with Arvell Reese still on the board at number 3, it made no sense, in my opinion, for the Chiefs. He doesn't fit the scheme of what the Chiefs want to do. He is a 3-4 edge rushing outside linebacker. He's not a 3-down, put your hand in the dirt sort of a guy. What I didn't necessarily expect was that the Chiefs trade up to number 6 and take Mansour Delane.
I think it was more the position they took than the fact that they traded up. No one, I don't think anyone had them trading up and getting trading up for a cornerback. I think that's what surprised most people.
I
is
would
the
agree.
Position.
I would agree. I mean, when I saw the Cleveland Browns have traded the pick, and I'm like, okay, traded the pick to who? And then I saw the arrowhead pop up. I'm like, okay.
Here we go.
Chiefs are trading
Dub's
up to
hands.
6. All right. So who's it going to be? Right? Are they afraid somebody at 7 or 8 is going to take Jordan Tyson? Are they afraid somebody's going to take Ruben Bank? Mansour Delane? It was initially shock, right? I think for most people.
Most people's, correct. Most people.
But his name has been thrown around. People have talked a lot about Mansour Delane. He was sort of the consensus top corner in this draft class. I think many people, Adam Rittenberg included, saying that he was one of only 2 guys in the entire class that he had a round 1 grade on. He was the best cornerback in the group. I like him as a player. I think he is a tremendous outside corner, one-on-one. He's got good size, good speed. His footwork's outstanding. His ability to stay with receivers, close the gap on a receiver if he gets beat. He's got all the tools there. The one thing that concerns me about Mansour Delane is the schematic side of things. He comes from a program at LSU predicated on a guy's man-to-man ability. How good are you one-on-one in the phone booth with a receiver? That's not to say that the Chiefs don't run man-to-man. They do. They run a decent amount of man-to-man. But they were in the bottom 5 of the National Football League in man coverage percentage, meaning they're top 5 in the league in the amount of zone that they run. So a defense that runs more zone, as much zone as one of the defenses that runs the zone the most in the NFL, drafting a guy that ran mostly man-to-man in college, that concerns me a little bit. Do I think he has the talent to mesh himself into this scheme pretty seamlessly? Yeah, but until that happens, I can't help but feel a little bit concerned. The talent is there. No question about it. He's got outstanding size. He's got outstanding ball skills. He's good in press coverage. He's good playing off the ball. He's got all the intangibles. Can he be a guy that can accept the responsibility of covering a zone versus a man on a play-by-play, down-by-down basis much more than he had to do when he was at LSU?
And I have maybe a little less concern, I think, about that than you maybe. And I say that only because I think not just from a physical standpoint of him setting himself apart as the clear number 1 cornerback in this class, they also talked about how football smart he was. So, I mean, it wasn't just the physical ability, it was the mental part of the game that set him apart from every other cornerback in the league. And if I think from an NFL perspective, man is probably the hardest part of being a cornerback. If you can nail that down, I think the rest can be taught. You can learn, especially when you're elite, mentally speaking, with a football IQ. So I'm not so much worried. They'll fit him in. I mean, he'll be fine. He will be fine. It's just how good will he be? We're needing an All-Pro out of this, right? Yeah.
I mean, with the 6th overall
with the
pick,
6th overall
right?
pick, we're needing an All-Pro out of this. So we'll see. I'm optimistic though. I'm very optimistic. I think I sit where maybe a lot of people sit in the aspect of, do I wish we would have given up quite as much as we did to get him? Probably not. But at the end of the day, you're getting the number 1 player at his position, and it's a premium position. What more can you ask for?
So Mansour Delane being picked 6th overall by the Chiefs last week, that makes him only the 3rd defensive back in the last 4 draft classes to go in the top 10. The other 2, last year's 2nd overall pick, Travis Hunter.
Which doesn't count.
He got picked a lot. I think he got picked 2nd overall because, yes, he's an outstanding cornerback prospect, but also the two-way ability was very enticing for Jacksonville. The other was Devin Weatherspoon. Seattle Seahawks took him 5th overall in the 2023 draft. There was no corner picked in the top 10, or no defensive back picked in the top 10 in 2024. And in 2022, you saw 2 DBs go in the top 10. Their names, Derek Stingley Jr. and Sauce Gardner.
Pretty good company.
So history tells us that if you're a cornerback picked in the top 10 in the last 4 or 5 years, they've been pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good.
Hopefully Mansour Delane can continue that trend. We'll see. Let's talk more about the additional picks the Chiefs made. I love the pick at 29. I liked a couple more of the picks that they made along the way. So let's discuss it coming up here on After Hours. Logan Weber here with you alongside my producer tonight, Julio Sanchez. 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out.
Leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
There's nothing like the sound of Royals baseball. When the boys in blue take the field, loyal fans tune in, turn it up, and stay connected. And where do Kansas City's most passionate sports fans gather? Right here on 96.5 The Fan. Sports fans are loyal fans. They support the teams they love and the businesses that support their team. If you're ready to grow your business and connect with a dedicated, engaged audience, call 816-522-0444 or email greg.bergen@odyssey.com. That's greg.bergen@odyssey.com.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. With credit card balances at an all-time high and Golden Oak's 4.5% rate, you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call. Call today and get your cash in as little as 14 days and make no payments for 2 months. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTRCM.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
If you're a regular listener to this show in particular, and even this station in general, you've probably heard me over the last 3 or 4 months talk a lot about some of the prospects I like the most in this class. I talked a lot about how much I love David Bailey as a prospect, how good I think he would have fit into this Chiefs roster. Chiefs just had no opportunity to pick him, right? He's gone at number 2. I think that was a great move by the New York Jets. I think that the Jets had a phenomenal draft. And I don't say that lightly because the Jets have been a stinker since Joe Namath made good on his promise to win that Super Bowl 50 years ago. They've been awful ever since. But there were other guys. Yes, they did. No doubt about it. Or Joe Namath sold their soul, and they had no say in the matter. But beyond David Bailey, there were other guys that I talked about at that 9th overall pick who I thought the Chiefs could take at number 9. One of the guys I talked a lot about was Peter Woods. I love Peter Woods as a prospect. I know that his numbers dipped last year at Clemson. I get that. I think that's part of the reason why he fell all the way to 29. I know that there are concerns about his effort or maybe a lack of on an every down basis, right? There are concerns that maybe he doesn't always give 100% all the time. He may take some plays off along the way. I have to believe that Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo are not going to allow that to happen at this level. But those things allowed for a guy like Peter Woods, who I think was a top 10 talent in this draft, to somehow fall into the lap of Brett Veach and the Kansas City Chiefs with the 29th overall selection. I think it is a home run pick that is going to allow this defense and this defensive line in particular to improve itself by leaps and bounds next year and moving forward. The idea of another athletic, strong, longer-armed defensive tackle to go right next to Chris Jones on your front, chef's kiss. You can take pressure off of Chris Jones. The amount of double teams that he will now see, I believe, will drop exponentially, especially when you consider that the Chiefs already have George Karlaftis on this defensive line. And then, with the 40th pick, the Chiefs go get R. Mason Thomas from Oklahoma. Do I believe that R. Mason Thomas is as good an edge rushing prospect as some of the other guys on the board? No, I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's as good a prospect as David Bailey. I don't think he's as good a prospect as Arvell Reese or Ruben Bain, for that matter. He may not even be a better prospect, quote unquote, than Keldrick Falk, but I do like the fact that at least R. Mason Thomas has the production to back it up. Like, Keldrick Falk did nothing at Auburn last year. I really didn't like the idea of the Chiefs taking a flyer on him. Landing R. Mason Thomas at 40, a guy who has got proven absolute production at the University of Oklahoma. He's got good athletic tools, and he's different. And what I mean by different is he is not what the Chiefs have generally been using and selecting with their edge rushers over the last few years. The last couple of years, it's been bigger guys. It's been guys that like to get hands on and rush through power rather than maybe through speed or athleticism. R. Mason Thomas is not that guy. Our Mason Thomas is true to form. He is a speed guy. 6'2", 240 pounds off the edge. He's got under 32-inch arms, 31 and 5/8, whatever. He is much more of the previous iteration of edge rushers that the Chiefs have used in the past and had tremendous success with. He is much more of the same cloth that guys like Frank Clark and Dee Ford and Justin Houston and Tamba Lee were cut from. Smaller, some would say undersized edge rushers that utilize good athleticism, speed off the line in order to get to the quarterback, right? Looking at his draft profile on NFL.com, here are his list of strengths. High-octane rusher with explosive takeoff up the field. Translation, phenomenal first step. Second, first 3 steps to the top of the rush are fast and furious. Translation, again, incredible first step, incredible effort, and enthusiasm off the line of scrimmage. A guy who goes, excuse my French, balls to the wall to get to the quarterback. The third thing I've got here on his draft profile in terms of his strengths has the bend and ankle flexion to dip under taller tacklers. That's long been something that we've complained about when it comes to a guy like a George Karlaftis. He plays violent football. He's good in run stopping. He sets the edge pretty well, but he doesn't bend. He doesn't have the ability to just get under a tackle's arms and get to the quarterback seemingly, right? He's got to get hands on. He's got to play with a level of tenacity because he just doesn't have the athleticism and that bend in his body to just avoid a guy and get to the QB. Our Mason Thomas has that ability. I think that pairs extremely well on the backside of your defensive line with what George Karlaftis does on the other side. Along with an interior that now includes Chris Jones and Peter Woods and Omar Norman Lott coming off of an injury in his rookie year. A hope that Ashton Gelati improves from year 1 to year 2. The Chiefs addressed the defensive line, something that many of us were begging for. Did they do it exactly like we thought they would? No. Right? I think a lot of us were thinking they would do it at pick 9 and then maybe again in pick 40. But you couldn't get one of the big 2. You couldn't get Arvell Reese. You couldn't get David Bailey. They could have got Reuben Bain, but I guess the Chiefs didn't like him the way that some of us did. Maybe the arm length was much more of a concern than people thought. And it wasn't just the Chiefs, right? I mean, he fell all the way to the 15th pick to the Buccaneers, who I think got a steal with that value at 15. This team needed to address it, and they did. With 2 of their first 3 picks, and they used the 3rd pick to take care of the cornerback position, hopefully for a very, very long time, or at least until his rookie contract expires and they allow him to walk away too, because that's just seemingly what Brett Veach is now. That's what he is, right? Marcus Peters, see ya. Travarius Ward, see ya. McDuffie, Jalen Watson, Jarius Sneed.
I think they really did want to keep McDuffie, but I think kind of selling their souls for that last Super Bowl attempt for the 3-peat, they kind of put themselves in a couple of contracts that maybe weren't the most ideal of situations, but it was for the glory, you know?
We'll see how it works out, man. I don't know. But hey, those weren't the only picks the Chiefs made, right? They had to trade away their 3rd-round pick in order to get to 6 to take Mansour Delane, so they didn't have a 3rd-round selection, but they still had a bevy of guys that they picked in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds of the NFL draft. And I like a couple of these picks, and I want to talk about them.
Agreed.
We'll do that in the 8 o'clock hour here coming up. Logan Weber here with you alongside Julio Sanchez. You're listening to After Hours on your home for Kansas City Sports, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by A.B. May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm for 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems. Call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
DQ presents the $7 meal deal, a delicious meal serving up serious value. We're talking 100% white meat, seasoned chicken strips, full-size fries, a drink, and of course, a classic DQ sundae. Because come on, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. All for just $7. And now you can try it with the new honey sriracha dip. The DQ $7 meal deal, a satisfying meal full of big flavor for great value. DQ, happy tastes good.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99. It includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
There's nothing like the sound of Royals baseball. When the boys in blue take the field, loyal fans tune in, turn it up, and stay connected. And where do Kansas City's most passionate sports fans gather? Right here on 96.5 The Fan. Sports fans are loyal fans. They support the teams they love and the businesses that support their team. If you're ready to grow your business and connect with a dedicated, engaged audience, call 816-522-0444 or email greg.bergen@odyssey.com. That's greg.bergen@odyssey.com.
Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
License number 2025-11121.
Tyler Reddick here from 2311 Racing. The rush of racing? Nothing beats it. But Chumba Casino comes close. Chumba's got fast spins, fun games, daily bonuses, and all the action you can handle. Now that's a ride. Ready to hit the throttle? Get in the driver's seat and head to ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, Mom. Now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm for 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems. Call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
After Hours here on 96.5 The Fan. Logan Weber alongside Julio Sanchez. With you till 9 o'clock tonight. Our text line, 913-586-7965. We're talking about the Chiefs draft. Some of the guys they picked up last week. We talked about Mansour Delane at 6. We talked about Peter Woods at 29, which I absolutely love. I think it's one of the steals of the draft. Not just for the Chiefs, but league-wide. We also talked about R. Mason Thomas at pick number 40. Got some folks in the text line sharing their thoughts. Got a 918, says it was a wise move to pick a cornerback in the first round because now they have him under a rookie deal for up to 5 years, and they need that for salary cap reasons. And that's fair. But, I mean, had they picked an edge rusher, right, you would feel sort of the same, right? Defensive ends and cornerbacks get paid big-time bucks in today's day and age of the NFL. Wide receiver is another. So the value that they got with Mansour Delane at 6, I think, is very much so something that needs to be factored into the decision-making. I agree. I just think they could have done that at edge. You know, they could have done that at wide receiver. Do I think that at 6, Mansour Delane was probably their best pick? Yeah. I would venture to say it is. I think Jordan Tyson can be an outstanding receiver, but his injury concerns make me nervous. They just do. I think Reuben Bain at 6 was a bit of a reach for me. I thought he would be more in that 9 to 12 area.
I think the question is, and I'd like to hear your answer on this one, is would he have been there at 9? Because I think that's that's what kind of stuck people was the moving up when most people thought, which take it for what it's worth, right? That these mock drafts are what they are, right? They're a bunch of amateurs that are making their own picks and values on players that they really are not professionals about. But would he have been there at 9? Did they need to give up all of that extra ammunition they had to grab him?
That's the bigger question. I mean, there was rumors swirling, right? The Commanders were in need of defensive backs at number 7. Could Washington have pulled the trigger? Sitting there just one pick ahead of them at 8 is the New Orleans Saints, who are number 1 in need of defensive back help. And who better to solve their cornerback woes than a kid from just down the road in Baton Rouge at Louisiana, at LSU? It's a Louisiana kid, right? I mean, the fans would have absolutely loved that idea. So I think, yeah, I think it could have gone either way. I'm not upset with who the Chiefs picked at number 6.
I don't think anybody is.
No, as long as he can prove with immediacy that he can play in a zone scheme, if that's what the Chiefs decide to go with. Somebody in the text line said it earlier, right? That, you know, could it be because the Chiefs didn't have the horses to run a lot of man-to-man last year? And maybe that's the case, right? I would say not necessarily in terms of the secondary. I think they had the corners to go man-to-man. I mean, you've got Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson there leading the charge at corner. Maybe they didn't have a ton of faith in their safeties being able to go one-on-one. I think maybe the biggest issue is, do you really want to force your defensive backs to play man coverage with absolutely no hope whatsoever that your front 7 is going to get to the quarterback with consistency? I mean, we saw it. We saw the Chiefs have to play in coverage for 6, 7, 8 seconds at a time because their front 4 couldn't get push. So, absolutely, I think that's a fair point. I got another, an 816 says, can you quit telling me about Chris Jones? He has had one above average year in sacks. The rest isn't the thing legends are made of. 6 sacks isn't great. A more disingenuous text I have very rarely read. We're saying Chris Jones. Okay. It's fair to say he had a down year last year. Yeah, he had 7 sacks last season. Not 6. He had 7. Is that what you expect from Chris Jones? Certainly not. It is a down year for him. He was also in the top 10 of double team percentage across all defensive linemen in the NFL.
I was going to say, it's also fair to say he had basically zero help along
he had
a very not good pedestrian defensive line. So.
Yeah, when the 3 guys he's lining up with are Charles Omenihu, Mike Dana, and Derek Noddy, yeah, he's going to get 2-3 bodies thrown at him at a time as a defensive tackle. You know, and that's what my response was. This person responded with, you think TJ Watt ever got double teamed? Those are two very different players. Chris Jones is a defensive tackle. TJ Watt is a defensive end. Defensive tackles are not known in the annals of the NFL's history for generating sacks. In terms of primary defensive tackles in career sacks, there are a handful of guys above Chris Jones. Alan Page, John Randall, Aaron Donald, Randy White, Alex Karras. Those are the only 5 guys that primarily played defensive tackle that have over 100 sacks. Some of the other guys ahead of him, Cam Hayward, Bryant Young, Merlin Olsen, Steve McMichael, Bob Lilly, Warren Sapp. The guy's got 87.5 career sacks in his career in 10 seasons. For a defensive tackle, he hasn't had just one above average season in his career. He's had 2 seasons with 15.5 sacks in his career. He's got another season with 10.5 sacks. 2 seasons with 9 sacks. Again, as a guy that plays on the interior of your defensive line. 99 times out of 100, your leading sack guy does not come from the inside of your D-line. It comes from an edge rusher or an outside linebacker coming down into a speed rush position. I don't think that's entirely fair. Did Chris Jones have a down year last year? Yes. Is it fair to be a little bit critical of his performance the last couple of seasons since he signed the new deal? Absolutely. But to say that it's entirely on the fact like Chris Jones just isn't a good football player anymore or was never that great is a completely unfair way to say it, in my opinion. Chris Jones is more than just a pass rusher. He takes up blocks. He deflects passes. He occupies space that the offense wants. He's a game wrecker. Yeah. There's things that you can be critical of with Chris Jones. There are times, we talked about it with Peter Woods, right? One of the knocks against him is that, he has lacked effort at times. That's something that you could place upon Chris Jones. There were moments last year, big time third downs. Chiefs defense is out there on the field. It's a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. It's an obvious passing situation. You look along your defensive line, and it's Jerry Tillery and Derek Nottie. And you're like, where is Chris Jones? He's on the sideline on a huge 3rd down, right? That's something to be critical of when it comes to Chris Jones. But when he's out there on the field, he is still a top 5 defensive tackle in the game of football.
To counter that a little bit, it's also not like he's a rookie. He's in football years. He's an old man. Yeah. So,
he's on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah. Cut the guy a little slack. He's a true veteran at this point. So he's earned it.
And now he's got, at least on paper, right? Unless something catastrophically wrong happen and these guys aren't as good as we think they could be, he's going to have horses next to him along this defensive line. Horses that he hasn't had in years. He's had to carry this defensive line on his back for quite a long time. Since I would say the day that they let Frank Clark walk. Now, you've got Omar Norman-Lott coming back from injury. Ashton Gelati going into year 2. Felix Anudike-Uzomah's got to do something, or he's not going to be in the NFL next year. So it's put up or shut up time for the former first-round pick from K-State. You picked up Peter Woods, who I think is the best defensive tackle in this draft at number 29, an absolute steal. You picked up R. Mason Thomas, a guy who's much different than the recent trend of draft picks that you've picked up at edge rusher. This defensive line, I think the talent level has increased. I think the depth has increased. So it's not only put up or shut up time for some of the guys on this defensive line, that also includes Chris Jones. Somebody said, are we still on board with Bucker? I kind of wish we had moved on, honestly. They couldn't have. Right? I mean, he's the highest paid kicker in football. The dead cap that was on him last year was astronomical. It would have dismantled the NFL record for the dead cap hit against a kicker had they cut him. So they sort of have to dance with the one that brung them a little bit, or the one that they brought in this case. But this is it, right? I think this year, if the struggles for Harrison Butker continue this year, then yeah, they'll move on in my view. Because he was not good enough last year. He was not the guy that they had 3, 4, or 5 years ago.
I was going to say, 2 years ago, he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, after the injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then last year was just, he was missing field goals, missing extra points. He was kicking the ball out of bounds on kickoffs, something I've never seen him do in his entire near decade-long career with the Chiefs. They just, they couldn't afford to cut him this year and just eat the amount of money that he was being paid and is going to get paid. Somebody said, Logan, if Delane is not Pat Surtain, the pick is a bust. Ooh.
That's maybe a little bit of high expectations. I don't think it's that far off.
Asking him to be arguably the best corner in football?
So I'm saying all-pro, and maybe even that's a little lofty, but...
Chiefs cornerbacks were overrated last year. Look what the quality receivers from Dallas did in one game. No, I'm telling you.
When you got no pass rush, what are they supposed to do?
I understand that the secondary looked really bad in that Dallas Cowboys game. Please just open up YouTube, okay? I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just letting you know. Go watch that game again. Please go rewatch that Cowboys game. Watch Dak Prescott do everything but get a pedicure in the backfield. That's how long he was sitting back there. I mean, the guy could have pulled out a lawn chair and roasted s'mores on the star in Dallas. He had so long to throw the football. Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson, they had tough days. But it's because they were having to sit in coverage and contend with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens for seemingly 5 to 8 yards, 5 to 8 seconds every single play.
Well, and based on the contracts that the secondary free agents got this year, the rest of the NFL would also disagree.
They were not overrated.
Yeah.
The Cowboys game was a bad look. If that's all you were looking at was the secondary. All you looked at was who caught the ball and who was guarding them when they did. I get it. But if you go back and watch that game and you see just how bad the Chiefs' pass rush was and just how long Dak Prescott could just sit there and pick apart that defense, it may change your view a little bit. Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson are outstanding players in this league, and they deserved what they got from the Los Angeles Rams. And they probably would have gotten it from the Kansas City Chiefs had they been able to afford it, but they couldn't. That's the business, folks. Sometimes it sucks. 913-586-7965 is our number. You want to know what else sucks? The NCAA. I have an irrational beef with the NCAA. I've had it for 15 years. They're trying to kill the NCAA tournament, and I, for one, will not stand and just let it happen. So let's get that off our chest really quick. Let's talk about the NCAA tournament when we come back. Logan Weber alongside Julio Sanchez. You're listening to After Hours on your home for Kansas City Sports, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by A.B. May. Trust A.B. May to keep your home warm for 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems. Call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City Sports, 96.5, The Fan.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If you're carrying a lot of credit card or personal loan debt, every month can start to feel the same. All those bills, all those due dates, all that stress. There's a solution that's designed to make it easier for you. National Debt Relief could put you on the fast track to paying off your credit card debt, personal loans, and even medical debt for less than you owe, with just one low monthly payment you can afford. And no, it's not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. It's a real, affordable debt relief program that could save you lots of money. National Debt Relief has already helped over 1 million people with their debt and has thousands of 5-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. So if you owe $10,000 or more, don't wait. Call 800-300-4411 now to see if you qualify. That's 800-300-4411. One call could help reduce what you owe and simplify your monthly payments. Call 800-300-4411 now to find out how much you could save.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because you had just one more 3 rounds ago. Because the 5 a.m. flight seemed like a good idea at the time. Because check engine lights always appear at the worst possible times. And because parking downtown is a nightmare. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hey guys, it's Rob Brennan from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the upcoming World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch KC features the biggest names who helped make the World Cup in Kansas City possible. And there was a lot of work, plus the major storylines heading into this summer's tournament.
This is so much more. This isn't just a podcast about soccer.
No, you're right, Rob. It's a podcast about Kansas City, for Kansas City, telling the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes drop every Wednesday starting on March 4th, along with video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ social channels.
So make sure you subscribe. Download Beyond the Pitch KC with Rob Brennan and myself, Scott Parks, on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. You can listen to Burns on Deck Show starting 1 hour before first pitch for all 162 games this season on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app. Get ready for the game with Touch 'Em All and listen for your chance to win Royals tickets during the pitch clock. We are in your car, we are on your phone, and we are free for every Royals game this season. Tune in to Burns on Deck Show 1 hour before first pitch, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Good on the Atlanta Hawks for even getting to the playoffs, you know? I mean, this is an extremely young roster who traded away arguably their best player in Trae Young at the midway point of the year and still managed to win 46 games and get to the playoffs. So, I mean, they exceeded expectations for this year, without question.
That said,
but the New York Knicks are just dog walking them on national television. I mean, they are...
This is embarrassing.
They are getting paddled like a child in front of millions of people.
The Hawks just can't get by this 50-point barrier.
They're down 56.
Yeah, it's just getting worse.
Dog, I just watched Pacoma Dadier?
Who?
Make a three? I have no idea.
But he was wide open.
The New York Knicks are now rolling with a lineup of guys consisting of this Dadier guy, Mohamed Diawara, Ariel Hukporti, and Tyler Kolek. I have no idea if I said any of those names correctly because that is the first time I have read, seen, or heard them in my life.
And probably the last.
I mean, this is unreal. McCall Bridges, 24 points on 10 of 12 shooting. OG Anunoby, 29 points on 11 of 14 shooting. Josh Hart with 14, 6 of 10. Karl Anthony Towns scored 12 points. He made 1 field goal. He had a triple-double.
Off one basket.
Off one basket, he's got a triple-double. Okay. Sure thing, man. I just... Yeah, and meanwhile, the Hawks have Zachary Risacher, who was the number 1 overall pick last year. Dude's played 8 minutes.
In a blowout. In a 50-point blowout.
Currently a 56-point deficit. Your number 1 overall pick from a year ago played 8 minutes.
Not great.
CJ McCollum, 4 for 13. Jalen Johnson, 7 of 15 with 21 points. Onyeka Okonkwo has 4 points.
How is CJ McCollum still in the NBA? I feel like he's just one of those players where, you say his name and didn't that guy retire 5 years ago? He's been in the league so long.
Never been a great defender, but the guy can score.
Underrated.
Dude can just flat out score. He's averaged 19 and a half a game for his career.
He's a baller, man. He is.
At age 34 this season, between
only
Washington,
34?
Between Washington and Atlanta, he averaged 18.7 a game this year.
I for sure thought he was pushing 40.
Now, Buddy's been in the league a while.
My God.
Drafted in 2013 with the 10th overall pick.
That's impressive.
A little trivia for you. Can you tell me where CJ McCollum went to college? Somebody in the text line, let me know. Without using Google. I'll know that you Googled it, depending on how long this response takes. 913-586-7965. Where did CJ McCollum go to college?
No clue.
Here's a hint for you. It's not a high major school. Itty bitty little school. I believe it's on the East Coast. CJ McCollum went to Lehigh. Lehigh University in Pennsylvania, I want to say. Yeah, Northampton County, Pennsylvania. Somebody in the text line said, at this rate, the Knicks will put Spike Lee in. May as well. Seems like he's going to get a bucket. We are incredibly high. Nice. That's
like
a good
it.
one.
I like it.
That's a good one.
Well played.
I like that. I thought that's funny. I like that one. Somebody said LSU. Nope, not LSU. Lehigh. That's where CJ McCollum went to college. He was the 10th overall pick from Lehigh.
That's impressive, man. From Lehigh.
Portland saw something, man.
Well, I was going to say, good for them. Way to scout, because...
boy, who was
impressive.
In that? Now I'm going to go down a freaking rabbit hole.
Let's do it,
2013 NBA draft.
It's better than talking about the Royals at this point. We've...
Fair. 2013 NBA draft. Was that the Anthony Bennett draft? Yes, it was.
Gosh.
God. That's a yeesh. Anthony Bennett first overall. Victor Oladipo goes second. Dude, Victor Oladipo is one of those guys that
I wanted him to be good.
If he could have stayed healthy, man.
Yeah, I wanted him to be good.
If he could have, he was a bucket when he was healthy.
Didn't he go to? Wasn't he Indiana?
He was an Indiana
guy. I thought so.
Yep. Went to Indiana. I think he got drafted by the Magic. And I think he had his best years with the Pacers. He went to a couple All-Star games with the Pacers, but that was about it. He was the 2nd overall pick. Then you had Otto Porter,
who did nothing.
No, he was the 3rd overall pick. Shout out to Scott County Central, Sykeston, Missouri. That's where Otto Porter went. Tiny school. It was like a 1A or a 2A school down there. Scott County Central, if you follow high school basketball in Missouri, they are a juggernaut, or at least they were for years and years and years. I can remember watching them play in a game when I was junior high school. They ran a 1-2-2 full court press. This again, like a 1A, 2A school, playing tiny schools. 1-2-2 full court press, Otto Porter at the point, at the top of the screen. Teams couldn't get across half court. But he went 3rd overall. 4th overall pick was Cody Zeller.
What a terrible draft.
With Alex Lynn going with the 5th overall pick out of Maryland.
What a terrible draft.
Nerlens Noel, Ben McLemore. Oof. KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope went with the 8th overall pick.
I think he's still in the league.
He's hung around for a lot longer than I thought he would. Yeah, he's a member of the Memphis Grizzlies.
So,
did he was he on that bubble team with the Lakers that won a title? I think he was.
I think he was. I think you're right.
Yeah, and he was a member of the Nuggets in 2023 when they won their
multi-championship winner.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Don't you look down on him.
2-time NBA champion.
That's right.
Yeah. Somebody said, what about Cody Zeller? Yeah, buddy was 4th overall pick.
How embarrassing.
Huh? Trey Burke went 9th overall. Certified bucket at Michigan. Just couldn't do it in the league. CJ McCollum with the 10th overall pick. The best pick in that draft came 15th overall. Giannis to the Bucks with the 15th, the first pick out of the lottery. And then Rudy Gobert was the 27th overall pick. So fair to say, CJ McCollum, 3rd best player in his draft class.
Yeah, I would agree.
Just a guy from Lehigh, man.
Boy, we really did head down that rabbit hole, didn't we?
We did.
I love it.
And somebody in the text line just pointed it out. Portland, they got into it, man. They got into the scouting because they picked CJ McCollum out of Lehigh with the 10th overall pick. And they also drafted Damian Lillard out of Weber State with, was he the 3rd overall pick? 4th overall pick? I'm pretty sure he was top 5. Maybe not. He was the 6th overall pick in 2012. Think about that for a minute. Your 2 best players for a decade came from Weber State and Lehigh. Couldn't do anything with it. Logan, if Kansas City got an NBA team, would you switch your fandom from the Villa and Celtics? Depends on if I got a job. I would immediately apply to be something in terms of the broadcast team for an NBA team in Kansas City, without question. And yeah, maybe I might switch. I would still, have love in my heart for the Boston Celtics just because it's the team I grew up listening to or watching, and rooting for. But yeah, I probably would. I'd probably become a fan of whatever the Kansas City Crowns or whatever the hell they call themselves. I have no idea. It's going to be something Chiefs, Royals, Kings. It's just kind of what they do. 913-586-7965 is our number. My best friend's dad was Kevin Pritchard. He was the GM who scouted and drafted those guys. He's now the GM of the Pacers. Ugh, that's sick. Somebody said, what sucks is no one in KC gives a damn about NBA, so you're boring 80% of your listeners. Well, I like the NBA.
Would you rather us talk about losing baseball? Because we could do that too.
Could talk about the 12-19 Royals for the remainder of the show. Yeah. I'm sure we'd love that. Somebody just asked me a question about road tripping. I want to answer it when we come back, Julio. Okay, we're going to continue to just go off the beaten path here for a moment. We're just going to enjoy ourselves. Logan Weber, Julio Sanchez, you're listening to After Hours, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by A.B. May. Trust A.B. May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball to hockey, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. And don't miss out on the special Royals props for every game. Download Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Ah. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment.
Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi, it's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Hey, it's Rob Britton from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And Rob, I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch KC will feature the biggest names who made the World Cup in Kansas City possible, plus the biggest storylines heading into this summer's tournament. This is not a podcast about soccer. Don't get us wrong. This is a podcast about Kansas City. This is a podcast for Kansas City. And this is a podcast that'll tell the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes will be released every Wednesday starting on March 4th, as well as video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ's social channels.
Subscribe and download to Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series with myself and Rob Bretton on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
I love random questions from our listeners, and this is a good one. Okay, this one's gonna take a minute. This is gonna take some brain power to figure out. Okay, so Julio, I'll ask you the question as well. See if you can come up with your list. I got a 913 here who's asking, if you were going on an 8-hour road trip by yourself, I feel like it's important to remember that part of it, by yourself, right? Because my first thought was like, is it just me or is my wife in the car too? Because that could drastically change the answer. You're by yourself, 8-hour road trip. You can only fill your playlist with songs from 5 artists. Who are you picking? There were a couple that like immediately came to the top of my brain, right? Immediately I'm like, okay, yeah, they're going on the list of the top 5. But as I get down into like that 4 spot, that 5 spot especially, there's like 4 or 5 that really just kind of float around in there. And I'm like, who do I keep? Who do I cut in that situation? Is there an artist that immediately jumps out to you that would have to go on the playlist?
Yeah, only because I was a big fan before, but it's pretty relevant now. It would have to be Michael Jackson.
Okay. I like that answer. The only thing that would stop me from picking like a Michael Jackson, my grandmother, my dad's mom, obsessed with 2 artists. She loved Michael Jackson and she loved Enrique Iglesias. And so my grandma, she lived in Iowa, right? She lived up in northern Iowa, Fredericksburg, Iowa. If anybody's familiar with that area, I doubt it. But so when we would go stay with my grandma, or my grandma would, we would have to drive, 5 hours in the car, and then my grandma would drive us back from Iowa. So it would be 5 hours in the car with my grandma, and those were the only two artists that she would listen to, right? She didn't listen to the radio. So, like, this was like junior high school for me. So, like, CDs were still a thing. So she just had albums and albums and albums of Michael Jackson and Enrique Iglesias that she would just play on repeat. So I probably couldn't do Michael Jackson just because I spent a huge chunk of my childhood
That's fair.
just listening to Michael Jackson only in the car. But the discography, you can't argue with it. You could do 8 hours in the car, possibly just using Michael Jackson. Somebody says, dance, Gavin, dance. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, and for an 8-hour road trip, they have enough to fill that listening library.
I can't say I've ever even heard of that person and or group. I don't know. Drake, solid
choice.
Drake is in that category of like, I'm trying to decide if they're going to be 5th in the top 5, but I like that one. Mixtape Lil Wayne. Ooh, any one of the
Lil Wayne. I like
any
that.
one
I was
of the
going to say
Carter
Jay-Z,
albums
but
is
Lil Wayne might have to take that
crazy,
spot.
dude. Oh my goodness. I could listen to like a Millie for 30 minutes, like just by itself on repeat. Suicide Boys, The Devil Wears Prada.
I'd have to go Queen.
God, that's a great choice. That's another one that's just like,
you don't realize how many hit songs they have until you like listen through their like greatest hits album.
Yep. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Freddie Mercury might be the most talented vocalist of all time. The entire Thriller album is flawless. Agreed.
Might have to, got to be in the mood for it, but it's up there for me. Usher would be up there for me.
Yeah, it's interesting. Eric Church, The Turnpike Troubadours, Big X, The Plug, Morgan Wallen, Lil Wayne. All right. I like the
Mac Miller for me. I think Mac Miller would be up there for me.
Mac's a good one too, man. I can't listen to too much Mac Miller in one sitting. I just get sad.
That's fair. That's fair.
I can't help
That's
it.
why you got 4 other artists to mix in there, you know?
Mac Miller was like such an important part of like my middle school and early high school years. I loved
It's tragic,
Mac Miller.
man.
Dude, the first song this is a true story, okay? When I was in the 7th grade, I got an iPod for the first time. First iPod I ever got, right? Parents got me a $25 iTunes gift card. First 3 songs I ever downloaded. I'm going to say the first one first. The first song I ever downloaded on my iPod was Knock Knock by Mac Miller. The second song I ever downloaded was actually Donald Trump by Mac Miller.
I love it.
And the third, Frick Park Market.
Oh my god.
Those were the first 3 songs I ever had on my first iPod.
Vibe, you know? This is why we vibe.
But I can't listen to too much of that anymore. It bums me out that he's not still around to be making huge music. Yeah, somebody that's like, Mac is the GOAT, but you'll be crying 20 minutes in because he's gone.
Correct.
Facts, dude. Facts. LOL, you may not like it at all, but Tech 9 definitely has at least 8 hours worth of music. I'm not the biggest Tech 9 fan out there.
You know, that's probably blasphemy to say in Kansas City.
I'm just not.
I like him. I'm not in love with him.
Nah. Listen, he's better than like E40. And now people might just get upset with me, right? I cannot stand E40's music, dude. I can't do it. I just can't. And I've started to have a little bit of a dislike for Rick Ross's music too. I just can't. It's too many of him grunting.
A lot of stuff has gone on secondary for Rick Ross that I just can't go with.
Too many hours of him grunting into a microphone at me that I'm just like, nah, I think I've had enough. Any of the first 4 Outkast albums, yeah, valid. Foo Fighters, Kendrick, Linkin Park, The Beatles, Slipknot. Dude, that's the kind of music listener I am. Is I have a wide variety
genre of music. I'm with you.
Yeah. So, okay. I've got my top 5. Do you have a top 5 in mind, Julio? Outside of, you said Michael Jackson, right? You seem like there were a few artists in there, like rap artists, that stood out to you. You said Jay-Z, and then you were like,
I'd probably go Lil Wayne if I'm going to go that way. I'd still go Michael Jackson. I'd go Queen. I'd go
All right.
You go.
I'll
go.
give you a few more minutes here. Okay.
I got
my
two
top
more to go.
5. Number 1 for me is the Beatles. Okay. I think that they have the most in-depth and balanced discography of maybe any group ever. I have been a Beatles fan my entire life. I got it from my dad. I absolutely love it. From Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band to the White Album to Abbey Road. It's so good. The Get Back album, which was their last album that they ever recorded before they broke, it's so damn good. The whole thing. Give me the Beatles. I used to play the Beatles Rock Band on a PS3 by myself for hours just so I could listen to the music. Like, that's how big of a Beatles fan I am. Second on my list is an artist that most people probably have never heard of, but he's one of my favorites. He's an artist named Ben Rector. See, if you ever heard the song Brand New,
yes,
that's
okay.
We used to play. You used to play that song on this show quite a bit, and it was like one of the first shows we ever did together. You played that going into a break, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're friends. Like I'm vibing with what you're vibing with here. So Ben Rector would be on my list. Third for me, and this is my favorite rap artist, my favorite hip hop artist is J. Cole.
That's solid. That is a solid pull.
I love J. Cole, man.
That's a solid pull, my man.
I mean, from Cole World and Workout all the way through Forest Hills Drive, I love his music, dude. I absolutely adore every aspect of it. Fourth for me, my favorite country artist, and this is hard because I was split between this artist and Luke Combs because I really do like Luke Combs quite a bit. All right.
Not a country guy, but I gotcha.
But Chris Stapleton is unbelievable.
A lot of good music. I will give you that. 100%.
I probably know word for word more Luke Combs songs, but if I was forced to listen to one country artist, it would probably be Chris Stapleton because vocally he is just so talented. He's so impressive. He's a lyrical genius. I love Chris Stapleton. Fifth for me, and I've seen people mention his name, and I kept going back and forth. My fifth is Billy Joel.
That's a solid pull, man.
My first honorable mention.
Legend for a reason.
My first honorable mention is probably CCR. Creedence Clearwater Revival, if you're not familiar. They're
for sure.
They're unreal. I think they're the most underrated group of all time. CCR is an unbelievable group. But I would go with Billy Joel, fifth. I could listen to Piano Man and Vienna just by themselves for 8 hours. Just those two songs would carry me through. Vienna is maybe my favorite song of all time. I could not tell you why, but it's unbelievable. All right. What do you got? You've been able to work, able to work through it?
I did, yeah. So Michael Jackson, like I said, Lil Wayne, Mac Miller, Queen. At 5, I'm gonna have to go Childish Gambino. I mean, again, very, very underrated. So many good songs across so many different genres. Changes. I love me some Childish Gambino. He's one of my favorite artists. I think a close second for that one would have been Jack Johnson. I love just some
Jack
chill
Johnson, yeah.
Jack Johnson music. Just throw it on Sunday music, lazy. Let's go.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Somebody said Dark Side of the Moon. So, so we're just going with.
We're just going with albums, though?
Just the album.
Just the album.
Like not just Nirvana. Just Dark Side of the Moon. Fair. It's their best album. I can't argue with it. So Frampton Comes Alive. I think that's Peter Frampton, if I remember right. Right? Peter Frampton. Frampton Comes Alive. That's got to be it. So this is more. That's more of an album sort of thing. Somebody said Billy Joel, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I just watched the Red Hot Chili Peppers documentary on Netflix.
That's a solid one.
It's pretty good. Steely Dan, Michael McDonald, Boston, Toto, and the Kinks. Boston's a solid.
Say Bruce Springsteen?
Boston's a big pull. Toto, as long as I don't have to listen to Africa on repeat. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That song got so old for me when I was a kid. I just couldn't do it anymore. Queen, so somebody that you had on your list, I'm with you. They'd be an honorable mention on mine. CCR, the Eagles, Billy Joel, Chris Stapleton. I think this person and I are kind of along the same wavelength right here a little bit. That's kind of nuts. I'm not a Tech 9 fan at all besides Absolute Power. I would argue that's probably his best song. Jeezy. Okay.
Kid Cudi, solid.
Dude. Kid Cudi.
That's solid.
See, I thought about Kid Cudi because the only thing
His music can also be a little depressing.
It can
you
be,
know?
right? And I'm not a huge fan of Kid Cudi's entire discography, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
I like Man on the Moon 1 and 2.
Yeah, agreed.
That is where he hit his peak. Probably the end of day Man on the Moon, the first one.
Bruno Mars also deserves to be on the list.
Yeah, dude. Doo-Wops and Hooligans alone could carry you for hours.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about an album like that, dude, it was his debut album. Like, can we think about that for a moment? That Doo-Wops and Hooligans was Bruno Mars's first album, and it included Talking to the Moon, Marry You, Count on Me, Just the Way You Are, Grenade, the
Bangers.
Lazy
Just
Song.
All bangers.
It was like, dude, that album is just hit, one after the other. Yeah, Bruno does belong on that list. I like that one. Absolute Power is his album. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. It is. Along with Chris Stapleton, the Steel Drivers, which is his band before he went solo. I did not know that Chris Stapleton was ever in a band.
Me neither. We got to put Kanye on there. As much as I despise him as a person, that's my personal opinion. He's got great, phenomenal music, especially his early stuff.
Yeah, valid. If D Ford doesn't go off sides, do we win the Super Bowl? Why would you ask me that, man? It's the end of the show. We're trying to end on a positive note. Oh. Damn it. Both of you crashed because y'all fell asleep at the wheel. Nah, the J. Cole's going to have me rolling. It's going to have me figured out. 913-586-7965 is our number. Logan Weber here alongside Julio Sanchez. We'll break, come back, wrap up the show. You're listening to After Hours, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come see us in store. Shane Company engagement rings are crafted with care from our hands to yours. Because a friend wants your ring to be nothing short of perfect. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
As the seasons change, it's time to prep your HVAC system with a $49 seasonal tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. A tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and help prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Missouri proudly honors the men and women who served our nation. If you're a veteran, you may be eligible for the Missouri Veterans Recognition War Medallion Program. Recipients receive a commemorative medal set, a certificate, and letters of appreciation from the Governor, Secretary of State, and the Adjutant General. Learn more or apply by searching Missouri Veterans Recognition Program or call 573-638-9500. Sponsored by the Missouri National Guard.
What's up, fools? Main event Jey Uso here from the WWE. When it's just me between matches, it's day one-ish. And that means it's Chumba time. With hundreds of casino-style games and new titles arriving weekly, there's always something fresh to try at Chumba Casino. The daily boosts make it even more fun. And have me about to get them all during my downtime. Ready for a fun way to chill out and enjoy a few minutes for yourself? Let's chump.
Sponsored by BGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in the state where it's legal to play.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Turns out, talk isn't cheap. Just talking about affordability doesn't make things affordable. Straight Talk's had the same price since 2009. Plus, their gold plan includes a Walmart Plus membership and $20 in Walmart cash when you activate. That's more than just talk.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straightforward, always. Valid through May 17, 2026. $20 in Walmart cash for Straight Talk Gold or Platinum Plan customers newly enrolling in Walmart Plus. Limit 1 per enrollment and account. Same price claim applies only to base monthly price of the $45 Straight Talk plan, beginning October 2009.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes are released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Well, I didn't expect to take the last 25 minutes of the show and just turn it into a music segment, but that's what happens when we go off the rails a little bit. I enjoyed that. More so than the Hawks enjoyed playing the Knicks tonight, that's for sure.
Without a doubt.
Ended up losing by 51. 140-89. Atlanta just run out of its own gym in order to lose in 6. New York advances. For my producer, Julio Sanchez, I'm Logan Weber. Thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks for getting involved in the text line. I love that we can do that we can communicate with you guys, and that you guys enjoy being able to have that back and forth with us. I'll always make time for you guys, no question about it. You're listening to After Hours here on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. No show tomorrow night. It's Royals Mariners. We'll talk to you next week. Peace.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEBNOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Hello?
Hey, sis. Got a sec?
Yeah, what's up?
Take a look at the picture I just sent you. I'm walking into Hellsberg and want to get Mom something special for Mother's Day.
Yeah, she's done so much for us this year. Let's see. Diamond pendant. Oh, she'd love this.
Great. I'll get this, which means you're in charge of flowers.
Okay, deal.
This Mother's Day, save up to 50% on timeless gifts for Mom. Shop at a store near you or at Hellsberg.com.
Open night on the calendar, yeah.
And how was your day?
Tell Alan. It wasn't bad, actually. I mean, pretty solid. Got a nap in, watched some TV, found a cool show with Stellan Skarsgård.
Okay. Man,
as a detective, so that was great.
That's good.
Drive into work was only an hour and 15, so that wasn't terrible.
It was more of just a rhetorical question to get to the Knicks. Just so, just read the room. Just a rhetorical question to get to the Knicks. That's what
I really thought you cared for 18 seconds.
No, if I cared, I would ask you off the air and say, hey, how was your day today? And all this. Like,
maybe America cares.
We're doing things.
Because they know what I'm about to deal with for the next 4 hours.
Oh, are you kidding? This is America. America wants the Knicks, man. Are you kidding?
No, they don't.
The Knicks, come on. The Knicks are here to save the NBA.
The only one
playoffs.
that wants the Knicks is Anne Hathaway.
What do you want? The boring-ass Thunder to win again? Come on, man.
They are pretty boring.
Knicks in here.
Although they have a guy named Chet.
Yeah.
And he might fight Victor Wembanyama when it's all over. So we did get a fight in this game, though. Yeah. I mean, that was the only time that the Hawks actually showed that they cared.
One of those games where I got so many texts from friends who did this and said, oh my God, I just got home, in Los Angeles. They're getting home from work 5:30, 6 o'clock, and they're saying to me, oh my God, I just checked the score of the Knicks game. And I know the same thing must happen for everybody. Oh, I'm getting home from work, and you click on the score and you go, oh, 72-29. Well, that's not real. I got to click again. No. Oh, my God, that's real. Oh, my God, that is real. Largest halftime lead in the history of the NBA playoffs.
Hang a banner.
Knicks outscored the Hawks 40-15 in the first quarter, and I'm like, okay. And there was a part of me, maybe just my liver. Maybe there was a part of me after the first quarter that I said, wow, that's as great as it could go. Can they really blow a 25-point lead over the next 3 quarters? Right? Like, because that's always, because
you're sweating.
Right
no,
there,
exactly.
Right?
As soon as the second quarter began, I'm sure you were a bit anxious and puckered.
Then they outscored them 43-21 in the second quarter. They're up 83-36 at halftime. And I said, tonight is a party. Let's get pizza. We are partying tonight. I'm like Prince walking around going, party man, party man. I'm like Jack Nicholson knocking off all the stuff in the big
nicely done.
Yeah, not that one, Bob. I like that one. Oh, it's a party tonight.
Yeah, you called me with about 4 minutes left in the second quarter. I was apprised of where the score was, so I was like, he's either going to just start cackling like a madman, like you were the Joker, or something of that ilk. But it became a plan to eat grease, which is good, and celebrate what might be the greatest night of your life. Because for a moment, you forget about Mendoza, and you forget about the Mets. By the way, a friend of mine sent me a picture. The kid has adopted the Mets because he likes Juan Soto.
Okay, well, there's
probably not the best.
Like.
Probably not the best year to adopt the Mets, though, and start wearing Mets gear.
The gear will be cheap.
The gear looks good.
It will be very cheap.
And the Soto jersey looked great in it. Yeah. But all of that to say, I mean, this might be it for you. I mean, we were getting all the memes of, hey, here's a big 3 to cut it to 58.
You know what my best days of the year sports-wise have been so far? We're at the end of April.
Yeah.
Okay, tonight, day 1 of the NFL
Day 1 of the draft was good.
That's it. That's what I've had.
That's what I've had. Tonight, day one of the draft. And tonight, way bigger than day one, because tonight is, hey, again, what did I tell you the other night, right? You look at what's going on in the NBA playoffs right now. Who in the Eastern Conference has the least amount of problems? The Knicks. Nobody is perfect. Thankfully, they're not in the West. Don't have to worry. Have to worry about either the Thunder or the Spurs. Hey, why didn't you sweep them?
2 games ago, I'm like, there were 2 games away from big changes. It's awful. It's this. But that's being a Knicks
Over
fan.
the weekend, everybody was being fired. Mike Brown still sucked.
Now
I want Tibbs back.
now what did I say to you before? Now I'm mad we lost those 2 games. Now I'm embarrassed that we lost those games. Oh, my God. How do we lose those 2 games to C.J. McCollum and Jonathan Kuminga? Come on, man. How do we lose that?
That's
ridiculous.
Well, C.J. McCollum, superstar. But you talk about operational efficiency for the second straight game. They didn't need much from the scoring column for Karl Anthony Towns. He took 4 shots on the night. 4 shots.
Didn't need him.
1 of 4.
Didn't need him tonight.
Double-digit rebounds. 27 minutes, he gets to sit down. You had 15 guys
I know.
play at least 7 minutes.
John Starks hit a couple of shots.
You ought to print out that box score and hang it on your wall.
Jared Jeffries played.
And every day you go and you tap the wall and you say, play like a champion today, or at least that you got out of the first round.
Yeah, Ken the Animal Bannister got in, played a few minutes. Roy Williams played a few minutes.
I'd rather have George the Animal Steele because he played defense like nobody else.
He would have started to eat the stanchion. That's what he would have done. He would have started eat the padding on the stanchion.
It's not a bad move. He's exposed the turnbuckle.
That was always my favorite part, was that they would start the match and he would just go and start eating the turnbuckle.
Get a little rip on it on the loose string.
And the other guy's like, come on, let's wrestle. What's going on? And he'd be eating the turnbuckle. And then he would hit the guy, pin him, start eating the turnbuckle again. There's acts, there's great acts in the ring, and but there's George. I'm just going to turn and start eating the turnbuckle.
Go back and watch some interviews with him. He was one of the smartest guys working.
Wasn't he like he was in Mensa or something?
Yeah, no, he's a genius. But
wait, not enough Knicks. Knicks. But look at all the other teams that have problems, right? You're looking at the rest of the NBA playoffs, and the Sixers and the Celtics. Well, all of a sudden, the Celtics got problems, right? Hey, up 3-1. They could have closed them out. Now suddenly the Sixers are healthy.
End of 3, 22-point lead for the Sixers. At this point, they have received all of 7 points from their bench. So the starting 5, led by Paul George, getting it done.
Celtics got problems. The Sixers still have to win 2 more games. They were down 3-1. I'm not worried at all about the Cavaliers or the Raptors. Look, the Raptors lost a couple of guys last night, too. 2 big players that are going to probably miss the rest of the series. And the Magic, they're an 8 seed. But now without Wagner for the rest of the series, most likely. Okay, the Pistons might win it, but how good are the Pistons really? I mean it. Nobody has less problems than the Knicks. And that's how I got to phrase it, because it's not about who's great. And this is still a first-round series. Again, I was so mad going, we get whatever we deserve, lose to the Hawks in the first round. Now I'm like, man, how do we lose to these guys?
Over the weekend, you're going back and forth. Big changes are coming. But it's awful. That was promo coming out of Friday's show.
Oh, that was. Yeah, Giannis is coming.
They'll solve everything. Yeah. These guys are all going to get shuffled off. They stink.
But that shows you the NBA playoffs. It's a really, we use the phrase, but you say war of attrition, and it's just surviving every round. It's staying healthy. It's being able to can we expose this matchup enough to be able to win? And because you don't, and this is why, look, we this has been the theme all week with us here, has been, hey, this is why teams should go for it instead of tanking, because you never know you get in the playoffs. Look at where the matchups are, right? How many teams in the Eastern Conference are going, we could beat the Knicks, we could have beat these teams. I didn't know the Sixers could get hot and beat the Celtics like this. I didn't know the Pistons were such a paper tiger, but now that, they know Wagner, so maybe they could win. Like, this is why you go for it. So that's why I can't say they're great, because the Western Conference is, man, we get a lot of entertainment, but clearly it's still the Thunder and the Spurs. Mm-hmm. So, okay, right, they're operating at a level above everybody else. It's who's greater with this. But the Eastern Conference, and this is why I love conferences. Don't ever change this, Adam Silver. Don't ever change a conference. Don't ever mix the conferences. Keep it like this. Teams in the East, West in the West.
Yeah, but when they expand, it's shuffle up and deal, man.
One team is getting to the finals out of the East, right? And that's what it is. Who has the least amount of problems? And right now, it's the Knicks.
No, they're in a good spot. Obviously, you're going to get a lot of rest. All right, you got all your starters played fewer than 30 minutes tonight. Operational efficiency and absolute blitz in the first half. I mean, that's clinical. I mean, you might as well just put that on a loop in your house. You'll never be in a bad mood again.
No, I'm never going to have a night like this again. I told you that. I'm never going to have a night like this again. Are you kidding? Winning by 50 at halftime? Up by 25 after the first quarter and extend the lead? I mean,
the only thing that would have been fun is watching someone who's live betting this like it was day trading. We're up 5 points. They're going to make a run eventually, right? Yeah. They're going to make a run eventually.
Can you imagine live betting saying, okay, you know what? I'll live bet the 40 to 15 after the first quarter. Can you imagine going, okay, yeah, I'll live bet this game is going to get close. I'll live bet the Hawks. What do I get? 25.5, 26? Okay, great. And then you get to halftime and you go, oh, that was a bad choice.
No, this is like
this
is like chasing for Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football, man. I lost my ass all day long, but I got one more chance to get it back. You had a half of basketball. As we sit here right now, Celtics still slight favorite in the Eastern Conference, plus 175. Cavs at plus 240. Your Knicks all the way up to plus 310 right now.
It'll be after tonight. They're the favorite. They're the overwhelming favorites.
Well, I think as more people are watching the Sixers obliterate the Celtics tonight, you're looking at the Thunder at minus 240 as the overall favorite. Spurs plus 280. And then you get out to Denver.
Right to the